everyone. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 10, and my name is Henry.
This is Braden.
I'm Chloe.
And today we are going to be talking about Steven Soderbergh's Logan Lucky, as well as the new Netflix movie, What Happened to Monday. And then we're also going to be talking about some pretty big news with the DC films that just happened over the last day or so, as well as some other fun stuff. And we have some listener questions, and so it's going to be a super good show. How's everybody today? Doing all right?
Yep.
A little groggy. New living situation, so if I become incoherent from time to time, you'll have to forgive me.
Right.
So, but yeah, a little groggy.
Chloe?
I'm good. Back to my normal living situation.
Oh, nice. No more, was it Danny?
Danny.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny the man.
Did he...
No more Danny and his...
Any weird events? Crying? Oh, wait, no, that was you crying.
Yeah, I was crying. I also cried at work
Did he
2 days
cry?
ago. Yeah, he did. He, every night around 11:30, maybe he, called his girlfriend or something, but he'd, just start yelling on the phone, every night around 11:30, and he's really upset with someone named Carol.
See,
But, anyway.
Maybe he was just watched the movie Carol.
could be.
She does break hearts in that movie.
I hated that movie.
No, that's unfortunate.
I mean, it could be one of the, a her situation, right?
He was just really mad at
Maybe
someone
he
named Carol.
renamed his phone from Siri to Carol, and he's...
Maybe.
I don't
Is
know.
that a possibility?
He strikes me as somebody that would...
As a her type.
I also noticed he had the same thing for dinner every night. He had a Trader Joe's, Indian cuisine thing every night. And he apparently doesn't know how to recycle. But anyway.
God, Danny is just a disaster.
It's funny. There are certain areas in the U.S. that they're just recycling is a lost concept. I was
Right.
just talking to somebody about this the other day. When I was in Athens for 7 years, a lot of the guys down in Athens.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's where I was for graduate school.
Oh.
Yeah.
He said it 12 times.
Okay.
I listened to
Wait,
it.
Well, when Athens is, as far as Deep South goes, it's a fairly, liberal, progressive community.
Oh, right, yeah.
But
Sorry, I
it's-
know that.
Yeah, it's sort of secluded.
Is that where the Real Housewives...
I thought that was Atlanta.
That is Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta's an hour and a half away from
Of many.
Athens.
Man,
So,
so close.
but the rest of Georgia is very sort of more rural, southern, except Savannah, which is actually really cool. But anyhow, point being, not a lot of places in rural Georgia have recycling programs, and so a lot of the guys from rural areas come to Athens for UGA and then don't know how to recycle. And I would go down, throw my trash in the dumpster, and then open the lid on the recycling bin.
Such an altruist.
to put stuff in there. And I would find things in there like expired food products.
Ooh.
No, seriously.
I guess it's good they were trying.
Kudos, A for effort, but I don't know. There are things. They put signage on the bins that say you can recycle these things,
That's
but
true.
not. And expired food products are not one of the recyclables.
I blame Danny for all of it. All those people.
Yeah.
Curse you, Danny.
Yeah.
And your tinfoil
Damn it,
hats.
Danny. Damn it.
Didn't he have a pet rat or something like that?
What?
I don't think
I don't know. Anyhow,
He's not Peter Pettigrew, man.
no.
way he-
Peter Pettigrew didn't have a pet rat. He was a rat.
He was a pet
Oh,
rat.
What a joke.
Okay,
Ron
it was
Weasley.
Ron. Ron had the rat.
Oh.
Ron
my
had
God.
the.
Fuck.
It was
Sorry,
it was his-
Potter files out there.
No, we don't like that
I disgrace
name.
myself.
I speak for all
Potter
of us.
fans.
Potterhead.
Potterhead. But that makes you sound like you're a fan of pot.
Oh. Well,
Potter fan.
I think Danny was.
Let us
We
know.
could do
Danny.
like a Venn diagram of stoners
Yeah.
and Harry Potter fans.
There's the
There's an overlap.
yeah. That's cool.
I don't know what to say.
But anywho, no. So there you go. There's my interesting recycling in Athens story.
Nice. I had not much. Just kind of worked over the weekend. It was pretty long and
Me too.
busy. It was.
I cried at work.
I'm sorry. At which work? Which work?
The restaurant.
Margaret's.
Yeah.
Just busy or horrible clients?
Yeah, people are mean sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Shocking. Like 98% of people are super nice, but the 2% of people who are not nice like congregate on the same day.
I know.
And what the heck?
For me, it's Saturdays bring in the
Me
weird.
too.
Yeah.
What's up with Saturdays?
People are so just angry, and like on Saturday, so I worked the Saturday morning shift, and there was like people constantly in a row. Well, this is one thing, who would have no idea what they want, even though they've been standing in line for like 10 minutes. It'd be like, oh wait, iced latte with did I say soy? Oh, did I mean that hot? Can I get 12 ounces actually? And there'd be multiple people in a row. Brutal.
Saturdays are rough, I guess.
Make up your fucking mind.
I know why I'm angry Saturday. I have to work that night, and it's the absolute worst night of the week to work in a movie theater.
True. But
at least at the Chelsea it is. I don't know.
But Margaret is a very nice place to work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Joe. And I mean,
I just cry sometimes.
I really like working at the coffee shop, but every once in a while there's some real
dill weeds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or as one of my coworkers called them dildos. So, yeah.
Which coworker was that?
I won't say the name.
No. Oh, okay.
I'll tell you off show.
Off.
I don't want to
off mic
in case the person is listening. So
okay.
They're not.
I have some ideas, but
Me
then again,
too.
I could be wrong.
I have several.
It may be who you wouldn't expect.
Dun dun dun.
For all the listeners out there.
It's a mystery. We'll be taking bets later.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be problematic. I mean, anytime you work, I guess, in a service industry, you're always going to have some people that are, I don't know, looking to pick a fight.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. But, anywho.
Yeah. Well, anything else y'all want to mention? Oh, and so we are going to do, there's actually a question about this, but the Soderbergh show probably next week, and that's going to be up on Bandcamp through the website. So the filmbuds.bandcamp.com, by the way. So we'll keep you updated.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I never went to band camp. I only ever played the clarinet. And that didn't go well. Because I slammed my fingers in the door.
This one time at band camp? And this one time at band camp?
Yeah. We're going to... What?
That's a quote.
It's a quote.
It's a famous American Pie
Oh,
quote.
well, it's been
Even I know that. I've never even seen that movie.
One time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my... You don't know that.
I've forgotten the movie.
Never seen...
Oh, no, I have. It's just
not
for a long time.
It's like warm apple pie.
Alright, so...
You can't forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's classic.
Seems relatively familiar. Anyways. Should we, without further ado, should we get on to Logan Lucky?
Yeah.
All right. So, we'll going to talk about Logan Lucky, and we've got a clip, so take a listen.
What's your name again, little Logan?
Melly.
Melly. Melly. That rhymes with smelly. Nice.
Shut up.
There's clothes for you both in the bag, and Clyde, I put something special in there for you.
Thanks, Mel. You're going pretty fast.
Well, we got a lot of road to cover, so yeah, there will be speeding.
Gunning for 100 in a neon blue car that probably ain't even on the market yet? Don't you think you're asking for to be pulled over?
Sunday on a holiday weekend. Police department hit by budget cuts. There's only one musker patrolling the whole highway for the next 40 miles.
But that's still one musker.
It's been handled.
Melly, I'm about to get naked back here. So no bacon. I said no bacon.
Logan Lucky is directed by Steven Soderbergh and stars, it's a big cast, Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, Daniel Craig, Riley Q, email there, Katie Holmes, Hilary Swank, Seth MacFarlane, and Sebastian Stan. And the plot synopsis is two brothers attempt to pull off a heist during a NASCAR race.
And a sister.
And a sister, yeah. Millie.
And a
Melly?
Melly.
Smelly.
Melly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A NASCAR race in North Carolina. Our home state.
Our home state.
Well, I mean, not yours technically.
No.
But
Well, Well, I've lived here long enough, and I have a relative that was born here, so I consider myself.
Close enough.
My family's been here for 35 years now.
All right, well.
36.
That is longer than I've been alive, so
37.
Yeah,
by
same.
a lot.
36 or 37 years they've been here now. So, yeah.
Cool. All right, well. Now you know a little bit of Braden's family history. And so what did y'all think of Logan Lucky?
16 stars.
Really?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was perfect. I think it was like the best movie I've seen in a really, really, really long time.
Wow.
Huge fan. Because it was actually funny and like heartfelt and exciting. It was everything. It was all the genres.
Yeah, I thought it was just really sincere. I thought a lot of the humor was understated. I thought a lot of the acting was spot on.
Me too.
The portrayals of the characters, and it was nice to see sort of a different side of things. If you catch my drift there, I mean, because you don't see a lot of it's always films about. Oh, young people in New York or young people in San Francisco, and it's nice to see a film about people in West Virginia.
And it also wasn't insulting to those people, like
No, it
Ricky
wasn't.
Bobby, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That was one thing I really appreciated about it. It treated these people as actual
people.
human beings.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was almost like a commentary on people who you think may not be as smart as they are.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Craig. You know the scene
Yeah.
where he's writing the
He's got the
God.
entire
equation.
formula. And
It's kind of like,
If I wasn't obsessed with him before, it's done now.
He's
he was
awesome.
so good.
yeah.
yeah.
No, there were just so many quips. Like it was so funny. It was really, really clever. Like I kind of figured most of it out, but just like right before it happened, I'm like, wait a minute. And there was stuff that I didn't see coming,
Yeah.
which was exciting. And that's another thing to do with that. The pacing was really good of the movie. It was all good. It was just all good.
I'll try not to do any spoilers, but I'm still
Yeah.
actually trying to puzzle out some of the stuff at the end that they.
It was dope.
It was really good. It's
It was
clever, and I mean the
dope.
whole thing is well thought out, but it's not quite.
It was
as,
also
you don't think
very
there are,
feminist.
You don't
and then
think
I
there are a
realized the
few
woman wrote it.
convenient... What?
I was
What?
like, I was watching it, I was like, this movie's really feminist. And then I realized a woman wrote it and said, I'll take it.
You don't think a few of it, or some of it, was a little convenient? A little too convenient?
How dare you?
Okay, well, first
How
off,
dare
I'll
you.
give my quick...
well,
Yep.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They don't know how to interrupt like I do.
Yeah. So, first off, I did think the movie was pretty good. And I really like Steven Soderbergh, so I was excited for it. One thing, in what you were just mentioning, I didn't think it was that funny. I thought there was...
I thought it was, I laughed out loud in that movie more than I've laughed out loud in a really long
And so,
time.
all the stuff that was in the trailers, that's the stuff I found funny, but I felt like there weren't... It was still lighthearted and fun, and so I just found it very entertaining, but in terms of, actually laughing, I didn't laugh
Really? I
that
laughed
much.
so
It
much.
was
To
more
be
of a-
fair, my friend and I
I-
were the only ones in the theater who were laughing, but it was us and 3 old men.
Ah.
But I thought it was hilarious.
But-
Yeah, there was some stuff in there which I was almost rolling on the floor. I thought
Yeah,
it was
I mean, there were some things that I really did laugh at, but in terms of being, consistently funny, it was more like,
Really?
that's funny.
Well, I mean,
A lot of it, and maybe on rewatch, kind of like with The Informant, I'll like the performances even more or get more from them, and I'll probably find it funnier. But on first viewing, the first act in particular, I did not think was that.
Well, it
funny.
wasn't meant to be. Those bits weren't meant to be laugh out loud funny.
Right.
And because most of it was just sort of little one-liners.
Exactly.
Stuff you see in the ads. It's, could you hand me my arm? And,
Yeah.
is it this one?
That stuff I really liked. Anything with Daniel Craig and then Adam Driver, who I thought was awesome too.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I was slightly underwhelmed by was the humor. It's just not as consistently funny. Yeah.
Well,
Don't listen to Henry.
those were
Henry's
just
a
sort of,
Scrooge.
Write me off, listeners. Write me off.
those were supposed to be sort of clever, fun little quips, one-liners to lighten the mood every now and again. But
Regal
so
Crown Club
popular.
again.
you
Sorry,
need to
guys.
turn off your notices there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But I think the major humor came, at least for me, from a lot of the circumstances
Yes.
that they were
Yeah.
thrust into, right? I mean, first of all, the prison rides were hilarious, particularly when they're talking about their demands.
Yeah, it was really
And
funny.
then the debate back and forth they have about George R. R. Martin and where the books
Yeah.
are versus where the TV series is and the whole thing. And here you have, the these prisoners who you would think, we want more weights and we want more cigarettes, and they're demanding George R. R. Martin
That's
books.
why it doesn't insult anyone. It
No.
doesn't put anyone in the... Because I think, like you said, the movie is about kind of dismantling stereotypes. Like,
Yeah.
people are just people. Yeah.
And so you have these very literate inmates.
I can't read those freaking books. So,
I love them. I've reread them 2-3 times now.
I'm proud of you. I wish I could. I wish I... Nope.
But you've got these very literate inmates, right? And then the other scene where they're down with the pneumatic tubes, and Joe Bang is making the bomb, and the two brothers are thinking,
Oh my god, I was just...
Yeah.
crying
well, where are the
laughing the whole
explosives?
time.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, I don't need the explosives. That's why you brought me the bleach in the plastic bag, and I got the gummy bears.
Don't listen to him.
And
Is
then he
it
goes,
20 or is it 30?
Yeah.
And so he's writing out this whole formula on the wall and trying to explain to them what he's doing and the whole thing, and it's so elaborate and just
good.
ridiculous. And here he is down giving chemistry, but you're right. I mean, it's about sort of, there are no stereotypes. I don't know if it's necessarily about breaking down stereotypes, but it says stereotypes are, there's no point in having them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, again, human complexity is something we talked about last week with Detroit, obviously a very, very different context. But this one says, don't expect people to fit nicely into a mold because they will always defy that mold.
Right.
So, I mean, the Logan brothers themselves end up being remarkably clever.
And sister.
And the sister, I'm sorry, yes.
That's right.
Well, she's just a badass.
Yeah, she is. That's
I mean,
true.
She's
like,
good. Riley Q. I guess if that's how you say her last name.
It's
She's
Co.
good. Co? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it's
It's
Riley Co.
Keough.
Keough.
Whatever.
Co? Okay, Co, Q.
Riley Q.
She was in American Honey, which she was very good in
Yeah.
too.
She's good in everything.
Yeah, she's good.
They were all... The performances made the... Henry's trying to talk.
No, So I did love pretty much all of the performances.
I didn't like Hilary Swank, though.
No.
Yeah, and the one I'm not really a fan of his in general, but I did not like Seth MacFarlane. I thought he was just so...
I did not understand that I agree
Yeah.
with. I agree with you. I did not understand why Seth MacFarlane was in the movie doing that. Like, I like him as a person and everything, but it's just so disconnected.
I felt like his performance was not only over the top, but both he and Sebastian Stan's character, who plays the racer,
Yeah, like, why were they there?
you could take them out of the movie.
And it'd be-
Yeah,
they're
you
there for a
could've.
tiny plot point,
yeah.
but they serve no purpose really. And also, there's this weird voiceover scene with Sebastian Stan where they're talking about his like body and soul,
Regimen.
spiritual,
Yeah.
and it's like no other character has voiceover, and he's in 2 scenes
Yeah.
maybe, and I just felt like cut that out. That it doesn't.
Cut it out.
And so, I mean, Sebastian Stan doesn't really do much, but he's fine. But didn't
Seth MacFarlane was not.
he's just so he just have to see him chewing his gum all the time and
Yeah.
acting like a dick, and it's just
Yeah, he's
not
pretty much of a douche nozzle.
yeah.
And I mean, he's really just the absolute worst sort of person.
Yeah.
But I think that's
why
kind
he
of
was in there.
the
Yeah.
point. Is it wasn't necessarily he was there in an important role, but if you watch the end of the film, it's sort of a whole series of strange circumstances that fall into place that prevent any kind of
Yeah.
what is the
It all
term I'm
makes
looking
sense.
for?
Yeah,
But they
it
can't.
adds up.
There's no evidence.
Don't spoil the end of the movie.
Yeah. Let's keep it spoiler free.
Well, they can't.
It works.
No case can be built against them because
Yeah, let's. I think
You
I'm
have to cut
trying not
that part
to,
out.
but it's all it's all because of sheer circumstance, and the whole point
Right.
of them being called Logan Lucky is at the beginning of the film. Adam Driver's character talks about how their whole family, their extended family, has had nothing but bad luck,
yeah.
and so it's just a series of strange circumstances, or you could call it good luck, that leads to them
Doing what they're doing.
doing what they do and
Yeah.
sort of positive outcomes and so forth. And so, hence the title Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
So, they're there just for one thing, which I won't go into the details because that's too spoilery. I think anybody would see from a mile off that, they try to build a court case and all that kind of stuff. But I won't say. Well, I mean, it's a heist film, right? It's a heist film.
There's law involved.
There is law involved.
Yeah.
You can't have a heist film and then, But I won't go into the details about everything that happens. But needless to say, it's just sort of sheer dumb luck.
Mm-hmm.
That things fall into place.
That.
Well, and I think Seth MacFarlane and Stan Sebastian, their characters who are sort of largely irrelevant, or they're just as kind of a plot device. Yeah, I know, but it's
not enough, I don't think.
Yeah, cut him, Steven.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, you could, but then at the same time, then you would lose that plot device, which really emphasizes the lucky nature of these.
It might have just been, it might just. I get that, but there's just too much of them.
Yeah.
And Seth MacFarlane, like I said, I like him sometimes, I guess. I haven't really seen much he's done, but he's so annoying. Yeah. And not in a good way. It's like, stop. He's not funny.
Yeah, and whether, just putting aside the plot point that he's involved in, just his performance I didn't like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
really wore him. Yeah, every time I saw him, I was like, ugh, now we got to deal with his like kind of boastful, arrogant nature.
Well, was it? Well,
no, it was the acting.
That's my question. Was it the acting? Was it the character?
It was
the character is intended to be a reprehensible.
Yeah, it could have been.
It's a way to. There's a way to do it in a more.
I would have had Russell Brand do it. It would have been good. I love Russell Brand.
Oh, I do too.
He would have been much better because he's the real version of what Seth MacFarlane was faking almost.
Yeah.
It was just annoying that Seth MacFarlane was there doing this whole stupid thing. Especially because...
I really hate Russell Brand.
Oof.
I really...
I love him. But anyway, my favorite... I think what made the movie were the performances. Because they were kind of heartfelt and kind of innocent and everything. Mm-hmm. And that might be where Seth MacFarlane was the disconnect, kind of. Like, it doesn't...
And Braden, we were talking about this just right before we started, but Channing Tatum, who's the main character, he really has he's developed a really effortless style of acting, kind of like a Ryan Gosling, where it feels very effortless and natural, and it doesn't seem like he's trying, but of course he is.
Yeah.
And he's
so
quite good. Daniel Craig, like, I love him as Bond, but we need him to do more roles like this.
He wants to.
Yeah, like...
He wants to. I'm glad he's going back as Bond. He said he never wanted to do it again, but I am frankly glad he's going back as Bond.
I think he said all that stuff so that they would fire him, get him, so he could get out of his contract.
Publicity.
And it didn't work. Yeah. No, I think he said all that stuff so they'd fire him, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of work to do this. I'm sure he's like the highest paid British actor.
Also, I don't think he likes it. He doesn't.
And he's done 4, so I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think he's a great Bond. I like him better than Sean Connery.
Yeah, he's my favorite. But it's roles like this, and then the girl with the dragon tattoo, and even something like his voice performance in The Adventures of Tintin are one of the reasons why I really like him, not just because of Bond.
Well, also, what was it? The Golden Compass.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That movie sucked.
Oh, I didn't.
But also, I hated the book, so
it wasn't a very good film and bombed at the box office, but I liked him.
I also it's one of the books I pretended to read in my lunch bunch book club because I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else he's done.
I know Bond has kind of been the big...
I mean, that's what put him on the map.
He was in a bunch of, like, espionage kind of movies where he was helping people and stuff. He met his current wife on the set of Ghost House or whatever. Dreamhouse. Yeah. Fell asleep during that.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Was he in Valkyrie with Tom? No, he wasn't.
No.
Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I keep thinking that he was in some World War II film.
He was.
Defiance.
The one where he saved all the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I really liked him in that, or him and Logan Lucky and Adam Driver. I mean, everyone seems to be talking about.
I hate Adam Driver. I liked him a lot.
He has this very stilted, like intentionally stilted wooden.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Pun intended. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't wooden.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know, plastic or rubber or something.
But he's great in it, and he has this very deadpan delivery, and it's
Well, I liked it
great.
because the first time he talks, I mean, Channing Tatum's accent it's very much West Virginia. I don't know if you've ever been to West Virginia. I've been camping up there, and I drove through there, going to and from college back in my undergrad days. But I mean, his accent was spot on.
Yeah.
And
so is Daniel Craig, even though he's English.
Daniel Craig's was actually very good as well. But the funny thing about it is his was sort of like super southern, deep south, twangy kind of thing. That was kind of interesting. But Adam Driver, the first time you hear him talk, he doesn't go for the basic accent. He's got this more sort of ancient Gothic kind of wizened elder guy.
Yeah.
He's got this very deep, and he talks, and it's very. It's,
You don't need to see the movie now. That was
very. That was it. That was all right. But
That's all you need.
It was. I thought it was interesting because here he is, the younger brother, and he sort of gets pulled into circumstances by his older brother, by Channing Tatum.
Did you say
And-
cauliflower?
Did you say cauliflower? That was so funny.
No context. Now you have to see the movie
Yeah,
to know what
okay.
we're talking about.
But I liked his portrayal of the character because he comes across as being sort of this very old soul, wizened kind of, but he's very much sort of dragged along by circumstance, by his brother, and so it's this very strange sort of not juxtaposition, but what is it, contradiction?
I mean, it's an interesting circumstance for the character.
Yeah.
They balance
I mean,
each
this
other
is
well, yeah.
in some ways he actually is them. I mean, he served 2 tours in Iraq, right? He's a veteran, and so he's obviously traveled the world. He's seen combat. And still when he goes back home, he becomes sort of the second fiddle. I don't know. That's not quite the right term, but sort of he falls in the line behind his older
Second
brother.
fiddle.
Second fiddle. But yeah, it's great. I love his character. The whole bar fight scene. His brother's in there fighting, and what
He
does
just
he
goes
do?
out and smokes.
He just goes out. No, he goes
does
out. Yeah, he goes out. And,
Yeah.
You guys are
yeah.
the worst.
we didn't say. I didn't say what he did. We just made gestures, but they can't see that. There's no camera here.
Yeah.
Much to
Thanks
no
to
one's
the
chagrin.
good fortune of our listeners, who probably
Yeah.
don't want to see this anyway.
But yeah, I think the heist is obviously the best part of the movie.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
It just
good.
it flows really well. Doesn't feel overly long. The one thing I would say, I think the end section, which I feel
Yeah, but I think it was on purpose.
yeah, but I enjoyed the end section because there's it's almost like Detroit, where there's this extended
Yeah.
end
Big event.
after the big event, and I think it went on maybe a little too long.
No.
I think yeah,
No, it was on purpose. It was good pacing. Because you were like, I don't want to say anything. I think the pacing was genius.
Spot on.
Genius.
I like the pacing.
I really do like Soderbergh's how he paces movies,
Yeah.
and so I mean it's not like a huge. I wasn't bored. I was just like, oh wow, it's still
I
going.
agree.
Well-
But then,
See, the great thing about this is I mean, you saw what he did with Ocean's 11, 12, 13.
Which I
and then they made a joke about it in the
Yeah,
movie, and
which
I
is
said,
great.
"You go, Soderbergh. You do you."
I think I still like Ocean's 11 more than this though.
Really?
Yeah,
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I really like Ocean's 11, but I mean, it's a very polished product, but it's almost too slick.
Yeah, this was much better.
And this one I like better because it was more subtle, it was more nuanced, it was more
I'm also
understated.
just a very sentimental person, and I really liked the character. Like in those movies, they're like really cool and smart and pretty and everything, but, you don't get the.
But you get Brad Pitt with a hand tattoo, and
No,
you get
no,
Casey
no.
Affleck, and you get George and all the guys.
In this one, you get a sweet father-daughter story with
And I
complexity
love
that
the-
we can all appreciate,
I
relate
love the characters
to,
in this one too.
and blah blah
but-
blah. Nope, way better. And this one's funnier too.
Yeah, I thought this one was.
Disagreement here.
No, I thought this one was funnier.
Oh, it's
I mean,
so
Ocean's
funny,
11
in a
has
good way.
some funny bits to it, like where he's where Brad Pitt is teaching all the little
Yeah.
new Rat Pack stars. God, who was that? Topher Grace and all those other douche nozzles that nobody even knows who the hell they are anymore.
I hear you.
But it had some funny bits, but nothing I thought nearly as clever or hilarious as some of the stuff that they do in Logan Lucky.
Oh, I just loved it. It was like if a bunch of, and they all meant it so much. Like if a bunch of kids went out and made a movie that ended up being like amazing, and they all really meant it and were really, really attached with the whole time. That's what this movie was like to me.
I mean, maybe I mean, and I've seen Ocean's 11 a lot more
11
than this,
times.
obviously. Maybe, actually, I don't know. But maybe I found that movie to be more consistently funny and charming, whereas, I mean, I definitely laughed at this. It just, there were definitely stretches that I felt were relatively flat in terms of that. But I still really liked the performances, and I still got a lot from that. Just in terms of actually laughing consistently, I didn't really get that as much.
Well, there were stretches of, again, I don't think the humor was the intent of the film.
Right. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it is. It just, maybe even in terms of even just the trailer just made it seem like there would be
Trailers are always the worst about that.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of
horrendously
just
misleading. They make Dunkirk look like an action film,
Yeah.
which it's not.
Yeah.
They make this look like a comedy,
Yeah.
which it's got some comedic bits, but it's not a comedy.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think it's just in terms of, it seems like there are more attempts at it, or that I was supposed to be finding funny, and I just didn't.
I found everything funny that was supposed to be, unless Seth MacFarlane was supposed
Yeah,
to
I mean,
be funny.
I found like everything charming in one way or the other.
Yeah.
Just in terms of actually laughing, it wasn't as
Well,
good
see,
as
I
something
mean,
like The Informant or Ocean's 11.
The last were sort of few and far between. I think because it was sort of a character study, and just seeing watching the two Logan brothers, watching the sister, watching the interplay with Channing Tatum and his daughter in this film, watching Joe Bang. Getting to know, it's such an awesome name.
It's Joe Bang.
And his brother Fish.
Yeah.
Where do you? His brother's name was Fish Bang.
Yeah.
Where do you come up with
What was the other brother's name?
I forget. It was something very
something
dry
weird,
yeah.
and simple. Though
I really liked Daniel Craig's eggs.
Oh my gosh! I
yeah.
know.
What was that?
It's so
Who puts hard-boiled eggs in a vacuum sealed thing?
Fake salt.
In a
Fake salt.
in a vending machine.
Yeah.
Who would buy hard-boiled eggs out of a
Daniel-
vending
Joe-
machine anyway?
Joe
Fake
Bang.
salt. Yeah.
Low,
So funny.
low sodium.
He had sodium problems. His sodium levels were too high, so they had to give him the fake salt,
Yeah.
Which he kept in his sock.
which he kept in his sock. Well, it's prison, they don't got pockets.
Yeah.
Got pockets. Do they not have pockets?
I don't
think they do.
know.
I think the pants have
I
pockets.
think
Do
they
they?
have pockets.
I think so.
Yeah.
They're not, I mean,
Also, unusually, all the little parts were really good too. Like the nurse was on point.
oh yeah.
Usually, the lesser characters are played by kind of mediocre actors for whatever reason. But everybody in this was super
They're
good.
good.
I
And
like
the little girl.
warden. The warden was a trip.
He looks like old. My best friend and I, we don't talk during movies, but we turned to each other and said, "Is that old Paul Dano?" Didn't he not look like Paul Dano to you?
Yeah, if like Paul Dano just really let himself go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paul Dano in 20 years after too much Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, and the thing is that actor, I know that actor has played some really like creepy, like
Shocking.
murderer guy, I think, and I could not get that out of my head. I know he's played some really creepy character, but I mean, he was. I liked him in it. I liked how it sets up the end.
It was all just so good.
His
His
hesitance to not let something happen and how that affects something.
Again,
That's really good.
It's part of the circumstance for everything I was discussing earlier. It's part of the circumstance, and it sort of dovetails in with the whole Seth MacFarlane and his driver thing. And so it's just a series of just dumb circumstances that lead to sort of a happy ending.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, it's good luck. It's good fortune. It's just pure unforeseen circumstances that lead to a positive.
But it's grounded because it's all dependent on actual characters and people who are like that throughout their whole
Right.
lives. So
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah, yeah.
totally.
And
Yeah.
I did really like the end with the John Denver song.
Yeah.
You know,
It
the
was
concert.
all
That was
so dang cute.
Did you shed water?
That is the. Oh yeah.
You did?
We cried during that bit.
It was a good moment, and it wasn't overly sentimental.
No,
or anything,
it was
so
just
it played,
real. It was
played very
wonderful.
well.
Yeah.
That's why I like it so much. Everything was very subtle.
This is
Subtle.
really dark, but coincidentally, I was watching like one of my favorite quiz shows or whatever, QI. It's Stephen Fry's the moderator, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And apparently, a long time, or not that long ago, a man in an Asian country that I can't remember killed 8 people because he lived next to a karaoke bar and he was sick of hearing that song.
Jesus.
And that song played because he could, I guess, hear it next door, and it's the most played karaoke song of all time. And he just killed 8
That
people.
John Denver thing?
Yeah.
Male guy is coming.
John Denver had never even been to West Virginia. Just strange
Yeah,
thing.
and I did really like the soundtrack too. I mean, along with that John Denver song, it's a good soundtrack.
I didn't even remember the soundtrack.
Well, I mean,
I guess that's good though.
I think
guess
it's
it
kind
worked
of,
then.
Yeah, but it was like more lesser known songs, and so it
Yeah.
wasn't just.
And the lady from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was in
Oh,
it.
Catherine Waterston.
That was fun.
And she was
Yeah.
in Inherent Vice and Alien
Yeah,
Covenant.
well,
I
she was
really
in
liked
Alien
her.
But do those
Covenant,
matter
yeah.
compared to a Harry Potter
Yes,
movie?
yes.
I like
But yeah,
her.
she's really.
Sam Waterston's daughter.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I
the last
really.
name Waterston.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm really excited to see what she does next because I feel like she kind of started with Inherent Vice and now she just seems to be blowing up.
taking
So
off. Yeah,
she's quite good. So
she is.
She is good.
and I like even though I wasn't crazy about Hilary Swank, I liked
Yeah, I don't like Hilary Swank
the
either.
fate of her character. You know how they tease that.
I liked her. I thought she was actually pretty
Really?
good. Yeah, I don't know why you
Maybe it was
guys were
just maybe
saying
more the writing or something. It's just
I
it
don't
felt
think so. I think
a little.
it's the way she did it.
It was almost like Seth MacFarlane and
I'm
being
gonna be a
just
robot.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
gonna do
too
this.
over the top
Yeah.
for that character.
Exactly.
Well, it
More of
seems
a
like
caricature than anything.
it seems as though the main characters themselves are not. They're not stereotypes. They don't fit into a mold, right? Everybody else around them, who you would usually think, oh, these are the law and order figures, and these are the important, and that kind of thing. They are all archetypes.
Yeah.
They do fit into a mold. And like the Seth MacFarlane character, who's just this bombastic asshole, super, super wealthy energy drink guy, who's he's modeled after the guy that actually did Red Bull or something.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have made it better had I still don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
So.
I think he is. I forget the fellow's name. So if anybody out there wants to fact check us,
Yeah, let us know.
But he's.
We get so many things wrong every week.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore.
But
I think people have stopped caring.
the guy that did Red Bull apparently is like a huge bit of an asshole, and he's very
I'm
full
not
of
surprised.
himself and all that kind of stuff. But so I think the Seth MacFarlane character is
Sorry.
supposed to be an archetype in that sense. Is that he's modeled after this actual energy drink mogul.
There's a man who came into Margaret's, the restaurant I work at, and he was like, I have to go next door to the supermarket to get my Red Bulls. And then the person was like, oh, something like that. He goes, yeah, I drink about 10 a day.
Jesus. Christ.
That's what I was
my
laughing
God.
before. I felt like that was worth sharing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yuck.
All right.
Yuck.
If you're listening, man,
Don't do that,
stop.
sir.
please.
I mean,
Public service announcement, man.
his liver must look like Swiss cheese or something. I can't even imagine.
Ugh.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyhow, but it seemed like all the peripheral characters, the warden seemed like an archetype. Hilary Swank's character seemed like an archetype. The Sebastian Stan character seemed like an archetype. The Seth MacFarlane character seemed like an archetype. Whereas everybody else, who you would think, oh, they're just like West Virginia redneck hillbillies, are
Roy from
actually
The Office.
they're clever, they're caring, they're smart, they're all these things that you normally wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Right.
It just, they felt kind of
People-
out of place at times. Like, a lot of the other characters, like Daniel Craig and Channing Tatum, or maybe even Adam Driver, they're like riding a kind of fine line between going way too far into a becoming a caricature, whereas I feel like Seth MacFarlane and Hilary Swank
Which
in
I
particular.
give to their acting.
Yeah, that's. I think it's mostly
Is
the performance.
thing. Yeah.
Is
So,
it?
yeah.
Yes.
I think because
Those characters could have worked
I agree.
Well, see, the
better
thing is,
Yeah.
with someone different.
part of me thinks that Soderbergh went to them and said, "Be a character."
Well, that's his fault.
Yeah.
Somebody's fault.
Come on,
Didn't work.
Steven.
Steven, get it together.
He went
You
to
came
them
out
and
of
said,
retirement.
you know,
Don't screw up.
Yeah.
the main characters, the Logans, Joe Bang, these are the guys that I want to be nuanced, shades of gray, very interesting and different, and have a lot of
Right.
layers and depths, and onion, it's got layers,
Classic
Right?
Shrek.
Dang,
Classic
everybody
Shrek.
loves Shrek.
But
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I love it.
but
Was that you trying to do the accent?
No. That was just me saying it weird.
But he went to everybody else and they said, what are your director's notes? How should I play this character? And he said, just make it as hammy character stereotype as possible.
Then that's on Sodi,
Granted, this didn't for sure actually happen. Regardless,
No,
it's
I
somebody's
mean, this
fault
is
and
just-
it wasn't ideal. But overall, 16 stars.
Yeah.
This is, I was just speculating there.
Hilary
But-
Swank made me roll my eyes, but she usually does, but still, not my favorite.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane, I was like, what? I'm so sad.
Get out of here.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Could have been good.
But
But still, really, Channing Tatum makes that movie.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
100%. Because
I-
the emotional string attached to the film, all Channing Tatum. Almost
It's through Channing
exclusively.
Tatum,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's so good.
and I think one other thing in terms of just movies this year is it's just a very entertaining movie. Whether you
Yeah.
find it funny or not, it's just very lighthearted and fun and well directed and
And so well written in so many ways.
Yeah,
The dialogue's
very well
really
written.
good. The plot is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was, enthralling. It was new. It was not the
Mm-hmm.
same thing over and over again.
It was spectacular. I mean, the character development, the portrayals by everybody. I mean, Adam
Yeah.
Driver was really spectacular.
He was, and I hate him. And I thought he was good.
I don't hate him. I didn't like girls in the slightest.
I've never liked him in anything else, whether it's his taste or his performance. I don't know, but
I liked him in Star Wars:
I-
Force Awakens. I liked his portrayal of Kylo Ren. I'll admit.
I don't even remember
Whatever.
that.
People will, oh, Kylo Ren, but
is that what people say?
Yeah,
that's
that's what the Wookiees say.
Yeah.
in my mind. That's what everybody sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Because
Right.
their opinions are meaningless to me.
Yeah, stupid.
So they're all wrong.
Yeah.
Even when they agree with you.
Even
What
when they
idiots.
agree with
Yeah.
me.
What idiots.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
They're all horrible.
Yeah.
No, but I thought his portrayal of Kylo Ren was, because it wasn't just sort of like stomping, raving, "Arr, I'm evil, grr." It was,
I don't even remember it, honestly.
well, he
I
comes
remember
across
the
as,
push. That's all I got.
he comes across as very sort of restrained, like turmoil. He's never he isn't
Right.
committed
Brooding.
to the dark side 100%.
Right.
This is something that he's struggling with. But for some reason, it holds an alert for him, which he still hasn't figured out. But anyhow, I won't go into the whole Force Awakens thing.
That's good.
But I like his portrayal of Kylo Ren, and so I thought he was pretty good in Patterson. I didn't
Inside
like
Lloyd Davis.
Patterson.
Outer space.
Oh my god.
Anyways, let's not get into it.
I met Kylo Ren at, the fake one. Don't get alarmed. At,
Okay.
Disney World or whatever. Right? And he, started having a sneezing fit. And it was just really, really
I
funny.
can't imagine what it's like having sneezing one of those. Oh, I just started thinking of Spaceballs. Have you guys seen Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just
Mel
Lord Big Helmet.
Yeah.
And Rick Moranis at one point, doesn't he have a sneezing fit inside the helmet?
Does he? Maybe. Well, that's what happened to
been a long time.
fake Kylo Ren.
Yeah, well,
and it was
Easter.
very funny.
Yeah. But
Not worth 2 hours in that line, but it's fine.
I don't know why. I mean, a lot of my coworkers, Sam, I was just talking to last
Sam
night,
Higgins.
and
My favorite.
he hates Adam Driver.
Yeah, me too. Sam Higgins is on point with everything. We were in environmental club together in high
nice.
school.
I don't know why there's so much hatred.
Because he's the worst. Not in
Is
this
he?
movie,
I
though.
disagree.
I just
I
don't.
don't. I'm.
This is the first thing I've ever liked him in. I think I've seen almost everything he's done.
I didn't like Patterson, but I thought he was actually pretty good.
Stupid AF. Well, that's just a testament to his taste. Also, it's important.
Oh, that poetry made me nauseated.
Well, I think it's kind of meant
What poetry?
it's meant to be
The poetry in Patterson.
I think
I know,
I think that's one. I think that's one of the commentaries. Is it's if you write poetry, what's good poetry?
But how depressing. Nothing.
All
I just
right.
really didn't like it.
Well, anyways, we won't go down the Adam
Delve.
Driver train. But any other thoughts on Logan Lucky?
Feminist. It was
Feminist.
It was really.
Well, Braden,
I don't.
Yeah.
feminist.
I
all
don't
around.
know. Everything I seem to think is feminist, all women seem to think is not. Like I thought Ex Machina was feminist. And
Barf. We've been
all
over
the
this.
women
Yeah, we
I
won't go.
talk to say it's not
Barf
feminist.
City. Did you think this was feminist?
In
You
a
didn't even
sense,
notice.
But maybe in a sense. But I mean, the point is it's not politicized. It's not pushing any kind of agenda.
No, it just is. That's
just
why it's
is.
so good. And then I saw it was written by a
But
woman,
then again,
and I said, makes sense. Now.
I don't fully understand your feminist ideology, but from what little I do understand is it's just that women are people who live lives, and that's it. Don't. And so, in that sense, I think Logan Lucky, you're right.
And they were full characters. They just,
Yeah. Well, the
all of
sister
them.
was awesome. She was just
was
a
awesome.
badass.
The only doctrine, the only shown like medical professionals were ladies.
Yeah, both of them were women. Yeah, Sylvia,
just a
which was the
long
Catherine
list.
Washington character.
Long
I
list.
like her a lot.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I wish
The little
she
girl.
had been in the film more.
I feel like it was enough. I feel like they got
Yeah.
what they wanted to. I like that they didn't emphasize that too much.
Me too.
I think it would have
Yeah.
just taken away. You know?
Me too. Well, Braden, what's your star rating for this puppy?
Easily 4.5. Easily 4.5.
Easily 16.
Easily 16.
It's 4 for me.
4 for you?
Yeah. I mean, I like Ocean Lotions 11. That's like a weird porn parody.
Well, if you caught one of the Bang brothers had, it's a speech impediment. It's called spoonerisms. You ever heard of
not
this?
laughing.
It's why butterflies are called butterflies. And I'm dead serious about this. There's a fellow, I think it was late 1800s in Britain, he had a speech impediment. And he was he studied speech patterns. He was a linguist, speech pattern, something like that. And there is a condition where people will transpose the first syllable of certain words, right? Butterflies used to actually be called
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
flutterbys. But this fellow Spooner.
Paschetti.
No, well, kind
Right,
of.
exactly.
But God, I can't remember what the specific phrases were that he uttered, but
Don't worry about it.
something of the law. God, I can't remember it. But if you listen
pretty cool.
closely, you'll hear him say, at certain points,
Yeah.
he'll transpose the first syllable to two
Neat.
distinct
that's
words.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I thought all of those were funny. Now I feel kind of bad, but yeah.
Well, no, that actually is a speech
Yeah, they're
impediment.
funny.
It's called they're referred to as spoonerisms.
It's I have
After this
I
doctor
have
who had
many
studied
slight
this.
speech impediments, which is one of the reasons I will never listen to these back. So I feel like I can laugh at other people.
You sound great, so
Thank you so much.
of course. All right. Well, we always get a history lesson. Somebody always gives a nice history lesson.
Mine
to
was
the
about
listeners.
murder. Braden's was about.
I can't remember what history. I'm sure I've given one.
Probably. We'll comb through the archives.
I'll go back. Yeah, I'll go back. Listen to all 9 episodes. Oh, Braden, can you believe we made it 10 episodes?
Do I want to believe we've made it 10
Yeah.
episodes? Okay.
Next milestone 1,000.
Woo! Double digits. Next up, triple digits.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Man, I'm so behind. This is like every time I play a board game, I always lose by so much, and I just see my little piece here, and everybody else is already at the finish line.
Well, you could get the
That's how I'm feeling.
skip ahead card.
Yeah.
It could happen.
I don't know how, but yeah, I'll make it happen.
Get that skip ahead card, Chloe.
I'll just do 10. I'll just sneak into your place that night and do 5 of my own shows, and then I'll be all caught up.
I'll hear this weird mumbling from downstairs. Occasional giggles, kind of laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
So that'd be good.
Perfect.
All right. Well, with that done, let's.
How do you plan on hiding this?
Starting tomorrow, you will each get to go outside on the day of the week that is your name. Sunday will get to go outside on Sunday, Monday on Monday, Tuesday on Tuesday, and so on. You will all take on the singular identity of Karen Setman.
Karen, do you have any siblings?
No. 7 siblings surviving to adulthood? It would destroy my credibility.
Miss Setman, step into the van, please.
Monday's not showing up on the grid. Gotta go out there.
Where am I going?
Run. The trash will soften the impact.
It's empty.
Sorry. The impact.
It's empty.
Sorry.
So, What Happened to Monday is directed by Tommy Wirkola, stars Noomi Rapace.
And Noomi Rapace, and Noomi Rapace, and Noomi Rapace.
Stars Noomi Rapace, Willem Dafoe, and Glenn Close. And the IMDb plot synopsis, another long one. In a world where families are limited to one child due to overpopulation, a set of identical septuplets must avoid being put to a long sleep by the government and dangerous infighting while investigating the disappearance of one of their own.
Struggling.
Jesus Christ, man.
This is like when you have to read your paper that you just copied off of Wikipedia in class. You're like,
Brutal.
Too many words.
So this one just premiered on Netflix on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
brand new.
And so it's I wasn't sure about going into this because it's directed by the guy who did Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which is terrible.
It is terrible.
And then
it is terrible.
And
I
also
hate to
did
say that
yeah,
because I love Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
I love Gemma Arterton.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
It's terrible.
She seems like a lovely person. Not my favorite actress.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I'm comparing her to my sister Gemma, who's pretty amazing.
She is cool.
But still, I don't like her.
Well, you've got a point of personal reference for people named Gemma, which
most people don't.
Most people don't. I do now. I did finally meet her.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
The one time I met her, she was very lovely, yes.
Yeah.
And he also did Dead Snow, which is the Nazi zombie.
Nazi zombies.
Which is, it's very campy. It's not very good, but anyway.
A Nazi zombie movie's not very good?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who would have thunk it?
Oh, yeah. And also I thought the trailers made this look pretty lame.
Man, I didn't even watch any trailers.
Yeah, and I've been hearing comparisons to Orphan Black. I haven't seen that show.
That's what
I thought this was pretty cool, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not, I mean, occasionally it does get a little goofy, and I think it takes a little too long to wrap up, but Noomi Rapace is amazing. She plays all these 7 sisters. It's almost like what we were talking about with Logan Lucky, where they are kind of caricatures, where one is, which
I didn't like.
Really? I love that.
They were sort of archetypes.
Yeah,
You've got like Sporty Spice and Baby Spice and Scary Spice, right?
One is one is tough and cynical, another is glamorous
like uber
and erotic.
athletic.
Yeah,
and then you've got one who's sort of like
quiet and reserved,
touchy feely,
like a motherly,
brownies.
Yeah, that was funny.
Very motherly.
Why are they sending this idiot out? Why?
You've got one who's sort of the driven mastermind of the whole thing.
Yeah, and maybe if there's a different actress in the role, it wouldn't have been as good. But anytime it's Noomi Rapace playing off of herself, it's amazing. Like the first act in particular, where it's all 7 sisters together.
I liked that girl. She was very good. The little Noomi.
Oh, the one that
Noomi?
played the siblings she was quite good as well.
The Willem Dafoe bits were my favorite with the little girl.
Or he's the father, or the grandfather.
Grandpapa, who apparently, there were some plot holes for me.
Yeah.
That was my only issue with it, but the thing is, those weren't important plot points, I don't think.
It's...
So it wasn't, they weren't essential for, it wasn't necessary to know all that backstory just to see how they were raised.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think the few issues I have are, I think some of the Children's Allocation Bureau, some of the designs of that were a little too over the top. Like the cars are these big clunky black vehicles, and
it's all like urban camo with tinted windows.
Yeah, it's overly sleek inside the facility, and so that stuff I wasn't crazy about. But luckily, it's not that big of a issue. There's a point where the sisters get separated, and I think since you're losing Numir Pass's ability to play off of each other with more and more of her own like sisters, whatever you would say, it at times lagged or just felt like more of a regular action movie. But I enjoyed the action for the most part. Her performance is great, or performances are great. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a cool little indie sci-fi movie, so I enjoyed it. Chloe, how about you?
Not my favorite.
Really?
I didn't dislike it, but I was lost. It might be because of the format, but I lost interest about it. I started looking for shoes a few times during the movie. Like, just got a little bored. But like I said, it might just be the format. I don't know.
In format, in what way?
Like, it's just on Netflix. Like, I wasn't in a movie theater immersed.
And I mean, because
Brandon,
we were talking about this the other day. If this movie had been released in theaters, would have bombed like crazy. And I'm sure it's going to be the same thing with Bright, the other Netflix movie she's going to be in. So,
well, that's the thing. I
think for this case, it was a good reason they put it on here.
Even well-made films, Logan Lucky's doing.
I know,
It's
so
nothing.
sad.
Its grosses are
so sad.
middling to weak.
Well, and he was saying some stuff about he tried to do his own thing with
Steven Soderbergh. I just
I
talked to my film before, or talked to my father before I came here, and he had been looking at the grosses, and he said Steven Soderbergh took $20 million of his own money for marketing purposes.
Don't we all?
And and I don't think it's working. And Channing Tatum's really been promoting it.
He's been dancing at gas stations.
Because he was one of the producers.
You didn't see that?
I think he's put a lot of his own money, I think, into the film.
But also it's a new format where he pre-sold all of the distribution, and so like the budget paid a lot of it for itself because he paid worldwide, and so that's what he's been trying to incorporate into Hollywood, so that way filmmakers don't have to go through all these different studios. Unfortunately, this movie in particular isn't doing that well, but
should be.
I mean, I'm
going to go see it again. That'll fix all the problems.
I thought it was great.
Right?
I'd like to rewatch it for sure.
Well, that's one thing that I was wondering actually is to what extent people aren't going to watch it because we live in such a polarized society right now in Trump's America that people are so, I don't want to go watch a film with those rednecks about NASCAR. Oh, that's and so
or vice versa, like making fun of it.
Yeah,
which it didn't do either.
Which I thought they were just people. They were just people, and it didn't politicize anything. It didn't talk about Trump's America. They don't mention politics at all in this film. There are no ideals or political agenda or social agenda. There's none of that in Logan Lucky. Which is interesting because there obviously is in these Netflix films.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I actually applaud Netflix for doing that, even if I don't necessarily always agree with the message.
I didn't know what the message was in this movie. I was perplexed. I don't know if there was.
That's my problem.
I think it's just supposed to make you think.
Is Okja? I kind of lost the message there at the end. I was kind of going,
Jakey.
What? What are you trying to tell me here?
That Jake Gyllenhaal's wonderful. That's the message.
He is great in that.
Don't let it get confused. The message is that Jake
Gyllenhaal's great. And then.
Well, that's from the movie, by the way. Henry wasn't yelling at us.
Yeah. Not yelling at
what happened?
Chloe. That's off a show. So.
No, he's very different off of.
It's a brutal pre-production process. So no, but okay. In talking about Okja and this, I felt like this movie brought up some interesting ideas, but I didn't think for the most part like it was trying to have a crazy message. Like
Which
I
is
felt
almost worse.
I felt like I was just trying to be an action movie and have some interesting ideas about it, which was fine with me for this type of movie.
Yeah.
And so I mean, at times it became too simple in that way and didn't really bring up many ideas. But I felt like there were multiple times, like particularly with having 7 identical sisters, and each one goes out on their own day and all takes the
identity
of
Karen Sutton or
Sutton.
Karen Setman. Karen Setman.
And I really liked that idea, and I liked the small bits of what happens to one of you happens to all of you. You know,
that was my favorite part.
There's a pretty gritty. There's a pretty graphic scene.
Yeah, it's stomach churning. You're watching this, and it's intense, and it really gives you some insight into the psychological profile of the sisters.
Yeah,
it is rough to watch.
You really don't expect it.
So. Again, it might be because I was just at home, but I've never said "dang" so many times watching a movie.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes I was like, "Dang."
Willem Dafoe was great in that.
Yeah,
scene.
he was. He's good in
so
everything.
Good. Yeah, well,
he's creepy, but he is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's the thing is Okja and then this, they obviously have, I think, sort of agendas, but what they're trying to say with those agendas, policeman just went by with his lights on. But what they're trying to, but what they're trying to say exactly, I don't know what the message
they've been
is.
listening to us.
Which I think is maybe the point, is it leaves it for you to draw your own conclusion about these issues.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's just
it's also a thing that has actually happened in the world. So like, it's more kind of insulting
in a way.
Its message, if anything, is look what can happen if we're dealing with it today. Like, what if the people who are lower and middle class aren't rising up against these people who have crazy amounts of power? And look what can happen in a futuristic setting if we don't fix this one issue or another, and how some people can take advantage of that.
I just thought it fell flat. It was trying to work with so much, but like not carefully enough to actually weave it into anything particularly meaningful.
Right. My favorite part of the movie was just the characters and their journeys, really. Mm-hmm. The other idea is neither here nor there, really.
Which is bad when they're actually important ideas. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're owed some kind of respect. Because like I said, these things have happened. Mm. Some of the things in the movie probably will happen. Some similar issues. But like,
well, that's the thing is you've got these social messages, and I think that's kind of where I get confused, is whether they actually have an agenda, whether they have a message, whether they have a conclusion that they're trying to convey, or if it's simply putting out this issue and saying, here it is, this is something we need to consider, here's a possibility for what might happen down the road. And I don't know, that's kind of why I get a little lost in it, is I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out, okay, are they trying to tell me this and this is how I should feel about it, or are they just conveying the message and leaving me to draw my own conclusions?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of me thinking it's more of essentially just more of an action sci-fi movie with some ideas, I feel like the ideas with the overpopulation and everything is really just like a skeleton for the characters. And
that's rude. It's rude.
How is that rude? That's what tons of movies do.
Because it's affected millions of people.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not, like, taking the idea seriously. I think it has some points that feel very relevant. I'm just saying, for this movie, it just feels like it's how these characters are dealing with that issue rather than this is what's happening.
If they didn't
this is the issue.
I could see that if they didn't interweave it with, like, the core of the political motion of the whole thing. Mm. Which also kind of fell flat. I was like, what the heck are they talking about?
And I did, but...
Also, my biggest problem with the movie was how did all 7 of them develop that accent when the only person they'd ever heard talk was Willem Dafoe?
Oh, the accents. Whatever.
1 star. But I did, like,
That didn't bother anyone else?
No.
Well...
What the heck?
Not really.
There were so many little plot holes like that they all just kind of built up.
There's because a lot of these projects want to use actors who are good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I know. One of my
they've got an
favorite
accent. They've
one of my
got an
favorite
accent.
actors is Gael Garcia Bernal. He's Mexican
Oh yeah,
and
I remember talking
everything.
about that.
So
He's good. Yeah.
can't super talk, but
Well, I mean, I'm watching Mr. Mercedes, and you've got Brendan Gleeson, who's living in Bridgeton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
Still
and he's still got his
Irish
is it
accent.
Irish
He's got an Irish
Scottish
accent.
brogue. I forget. Well, Irish accent. I'll just say Irish accent. I
Irish.
always forget whether
Get
it's.
Irish.
But
I really liked it.
they don't really say anything about it except at one point they mention that he immigrated over as a kid, and I'm thinking, well, the guy's in his 60s now.
I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort. That's better.
His character's in his 60s now, so why is he still speaking with an Irish accent? But
I wasn't really thinking about that at all in this, and I'd say it again, but I mean, she's amazing.
It came up,
whether her accent is.
Yeah, she's amazing. I'm not blaming her. I'm saying,
Oh, yeah.
why did nobody?
Well, it came up,
they
but
could have given William an act. I never know how to say his name. Mr. Defoe.
Willem.
I don't like saying Willem. Mr. Defoe, they could have given an accent.
Say it.
Willem.
Willem. But I don't know. It's one of those suspension of disbelief things. Maybe her teacher at school had an accent, and they all took it home, and I don't know.
Also, that little girl looks just like baby Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Did you guys notice this? She looks just like little JGL.
Huh. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. All right, just me.
The little girls had freckles, and JGL doesn't.
Oh man.
I don't know. They did have freckles though. That I did.
Yeah,
notice.
they did.
Yeah.
But
I think the third act is probably where I was the least interested. I think that's where I could tell where
third act is that where they're infiltrating the.
Yeah.
There's everything with the.
It let me down. I bought a lot of shoes. I got so bored. I just started buying shoes.
Like online,
Yep.
Okay.
Zappos? Did you go to Zappos?
No.
She's not a Zappos girl.
I get good sales. Nordstrom Rack.
Nice. But I felt like it took a little too long to wrap up, and I feel like you could tell where it was going, and so I was ready for things to be resolved.
Exactly.
And then you only have two. You have essentially the straight Numir Paz character, who's just a relatively normal woman, where she's not much of a caricature, and then you have the other one who's the tough one, and she's not by herself. They're not that compelling, and so I feel like, and it's just them two a lot of the time, and so it's not as interesting as what you had seen before. That was my least favorite part, but I did really like the action a lot. I was worried that it was just going to be bland action, but I thought the action was cool.
The editing I thought was quite good in the action sequences.
And the fight in the raid in the house where they're using household items, that was awesome. Like
it kind of made me mad.
Why?
Because I don't know how to say this well. The most masculine ones were the only ones who are good at fighting. I'm really going off today. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But with the really short hair and the very.
Well, yeah, but you saw them training and stuff. Wouldn't that make?
Yeah, still made me mad.
Well,
the other ones were useless.
So you're saying
just because
somebody's athletic, they're manly?
No, it was the clothes and the haircut and everything. You can wear a dress and still know how to kick someone in the face.
True. But anyway, I liked I like the use of household items like the hot water and the.
It's all been.
I don't think this is the most original.
I didn't like it.
Everybody.
Chloe has spoken.
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
I mean, the action sequences wasn't anything original. It's a bunch of guys and they get beaten up by people and not expecting them.
There's some cool blood effects in this.
That poor man.
Which one?
Dude.
Who got burned and then smashed in the face with an iron and
then tricked.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like that.
The guy who gets tricked near the end. Who's on the journey, so to speak, with them.
Oh,
that guy.
Yeah,
that's
feels
creepy.
bad for him.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up. It's
creepy.
Weird.
Yeah. Also, the doorman just gets shot. Well, sorry. it's
nice,
weird.
Nice guy, that guy.
It just
Yeah. Well, he's always quoting Langston Hughes, right?
Yeah.
He's quoting "Raisin in the Sun" and some other Langston Hughes poems, and
it wasn't raisin. Oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
The
There's
whole,
a dream deferred, dry up like a raisin in the sun. Something.
I'm not up to date on my Langston Hughes.
But that's what he does quote that specifically.
I just didn't like it. I just think it was not. I don't know how to phrase this well. It was just
That's okay.
lazy. I think it was just lazy. It just wasn't really sorted properly. They didn't care enough or something. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Nothing was thought through enough to be good.
Well, I'll
Just like,
say,
what the heck? Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay, so they're having huge problems, right?
Right.
The world is basically impoverished and stuff, yeah? Especially the government, clearly, and everything like that,
Yeah.
right? How the heck do they have the resources for some of the things in that movie? Like, no spoilers, but like...
In terms of the Bureau?
Medically and everything?
Well, I feel like as you see in some, I think a lot of movies where the government is taking all the profits from stuff, you know? But I did think maybe at times it was overdone. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'm out of it. The little hand cell phones, I'm done so. Also, there's no way they can all have different cell phones if they're trying to stay hidden. The whole thing's stupid. I'm out. There's so many holes.
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
But I mean, they showed that.
Well,
they showed that at the beginning of the film, as Willem Dafoe took all these government issued items, right, the little wristbands and so forth.
How to get them?
And
he's Willem Dafoe.
How to get them?
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
He's Willem freaking Dafoe. But he takes all of them, and you see him tinkering with all of them, and I guess
By
in
the
order
way,
to make them uniform.
Another thing. Why did Willem Dafoe have to take them? Why couldn't their mom do this?
Because she's dead. She's dead.
She died.
She died?
In
She
childbirth.
died in childbirth.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm wrong on that one, but
Spoiler.
I was really wondering that.
I like the flashbacks of where they were preparing as if
Me too.
someone comes in.
Except that was also stupid because if your kid is missing, and there's only supposed to be one kid, that was the whole thing, right? What's her name? Okay, just kidding. They're preparing if a kid was missing and people came. Why would you have another kid sitting at the table?
No, I think it's like, what if there was just someone who came investigating that house?
Yeah, they had to have
apartment.
one girl sitting at the table.
Why? They
and
could
the
have been
other
like,
was
she's
hidden.
out in the park. Some.
Or I mean, I think just in terms of just them being suspicious if there's more than one child.
Okay, but guess what? They did it when one of the kids was... Is that a spoiler? I don't care. When
No.
one of the kids was missing, they had a kid sitting at the table. If he's that genius, he can't think through that the police might come with his kid who's just wandering around, and then there's another kid who looks the same sitting at the table.
Madness.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Well,
I mean, they cut some corners. There were some things that they did as expedients to move the plot along and to keep the flow of the film sort of moving forward, actions, dynamic, interesting, keep you engaged. I don't know that it's necessarily lazy. Lazy is...
No stars.
it's like
Good
you either Chloe either loves everything or she just hates it.
a study in polarity.
Beyond belief.
I can no.
Ghost Story, Point Break.
Numi was good. I'll give it a star and a half.
Well, I mean, the other
How
thing
generous.
is, if you're dealing with a dystopian future like this, then there are certain things you have to make leaps of faith with regard to how
Yeah, but not
society
those
has
stupid things.
changed. I mean, this is supposed to be what, a few hundred? Well, maybe
No,
not
it's
that.
2074.
It's 50, like 50.
Yeah,
50 years
it's
in the future.
freaking years. We don't even have hoverboards yet.
Where's my jetpack? I want my personal jetpack. Ugh.
Let's just all go watch Back to the Future instead.
I'd be down.
Best movies of all time.
It's a cool movie.
No.
Oh no!
Just a single answer.
No.
Well,
I'm gonna.
All these movies of my childhood that everybody talks about like they're so wonderful. Oh, E.T. is the best thing ever. No.
Back to the
Back to
Future.
the Future was so awesome.
good.
oh, it is awesome.
The next pet I'm
No.
getting, I'm naming him Smarty McFly for sure.
No.
My Smarty.
You're not doing it.
No.
Well,
I don't approve.
we'll leave that for another show. We'll have a Braden childhood special show. where you talk about all the ones you think
It was my childhood too.
No.
I just didn't get to see it in theaters. It's still my childhood.
Oh,
I grew up on those movies.
well. Interesting. Well, that's interesting.
I like how she did they made Glenn Close look like Hillary Clinton, and then she does a little feint, like what happened to Hillary Clinton.
Oh, right.
I thought that was funny. I didn't know if that was on purpose or not, but it was amusing.
That was the other thing I was wondering is I mean, I could see a little bit of Hillary Clinton in her character, and I was going, really? Are they trying to... Because she was a pretty despicable person.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of going, what?
Yeah, there you go.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I mean, does this Tommy Vercola really hate Hillary Clinton? Why?
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Neither of them had really done anything, right? Except for Hansel and Gretel Vampire Hunter, or whatever it is.
Which Hunters?
Right? The director and the writer. Not done a lot of stuff.
No.
Oh, well, it was different writers, I think. But yeah, he did. It was Dead Snow and Hansel and Gretel.
I don't
and
think
then,
the writer did anything either. Quite. I don't think the writer had really done anything
oh, really?
either.
I think it was a couple people, but yeah.
Writers.
I definitely haven't done much. Fucking writers, you know?
God damn them.
Get real.
They're all horrible.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Yeah, but I mean, the best part for me was Namir Pass, and so
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was interesting.
It's worth
I
seeing just for that, honestly.
I like the setup, and it
Watch it like while you're at the gym. It'll make you pumped, but that's about it.
in a way, I felt almost like it was a throwback to some of the 80s dystopian films, sort of Running Man, right? You could see a little bit of Logan's Run in it, which, well, that Logan's Run was, 70-something, early, mid-70s, I forget exactly when, But I mean, I saw a bunch of early dystopian future type films, and I thought it was interesting in that sense because it was taking a plausible scenario in order to deal with food shortages in the world. We turn to GM food, genetically modified food, and then this ends up having the unexpected consequence of increasing birth rates because people start having, twins and triplets and everything up to septuplets and probably octomoms, right? Mm-hmm. So...
Octomom, new movie.
Octomom,
new
whatever.
Movie.
What happened to Octomom? I don't care. But... it took this sort of plausible scenario and then stuck unwitting people into this dystopian future. And yeah, I mean, you have a large faceless organization, the Child Allocation Bureau, and you have to make a few leaps of faith with regard to some things like the technology and social engineering in order to maintain this one-child policy, all this kind of stuff. But I mean, the interesting thing about it is, as you pointed out earlier, Chloe, I mean, this is something that China has a one-child policy. Mm-hmm. And it is largely, no, they haven't abolished it yet.
Yeah, they did. Did they not?
Did they? No, I don't think so. Well, they have, the way that they do it is they don't have a hard and fast, if you have more than one children, then we're going to, put them in front of a firing squad. That's inhumane.
Gosh.
That's disgusting. Right? But I think they've done it in an interesting way where they've said, okay, you've got one kid now. If you want to have, if you go and you have a second, you pay for it yourself. Mm-hmm. And that brought up a lot of questions about children in Western societies and whether or not having all these tax breaks, tax incentives for having large families, is that really still necessary?
Mm-hmm.
I don't work on a farm. So no.
So, yeah, and I mean that's the
Your
thing.
girl doesn't work on a farm.
I mean, but
guys,
But the questions about social engineering in order to increase or decrease birth rates, and I mean it's an important.
Oh, I didn't
question.
mention Katie Holmes. She's in the movie in Logan Lucky.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you mentioned her.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
She's just kind of there.
It's a relatively minor role.
Anyways.
She doesn't show up at all. What happened to Monday?
No.
Or
No.
does she?
Or does she?
Katie Holmes is on a...
7 Katie Holmeses.
Spot the Katie Holmes. Where in Mondays, Katie Holmes.
So, but it's an interesting, feels a little different from a lot of the stuff that's been coming out, and so it's not like it's going to be on my top 10 of the year or anything, but it's a cool movie and a good showcase for Noomi Rapace, and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's really good.
I hope that she gets more.
You guys should watch Orphan Black. Then you'll have even less
Yeah, it's
respect
just
for
another
this movie.
show.
Orphan
Damn
Black's so
shows.
good.
I know it's
Too much crap to watch.
yeah.
She's so good.
That's what I've heard. So
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard it's a really spectacular show. I
Yeah,
want to see
because they
that.
actually think through the writing. You know.
oh,
Well, that's a serialized show versus
Classic.
a 2-hour. So you've got to make certain
No.
concessions.
You've got to make good movies.
This was a good movie.
Chloe doesn't think so.
You're entitled to your opinion, but you know how I feel about everybody else's opinion.
Yeah,
They're all wrong.
fuck them.
Throw them in the dumpster fire.
Exactly. Well, I'm about out of stuff to say.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I applaud Netflix for at least tackling these issues.
Didn't tackle anything. All right, sorry.
No, it's okay. But yeah, so it's
It was no Transformers.
Then
that's
again, what is?
yeah,
Then again, who does?
yeah.
There's my Blade Runner reference.
Oh, true. Good one.
You won't live forever. She won't live forever, but then again, who does? Nobody.
No, I know.
Nobody ever seen this
No,
film.
I know. I love Blade Runner. I'm just kidding.
I also like Blade Runner.
Yeah. And so, all right. Well, let's give star ratings for this thing. It's 4 for me.
What?
4.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm going for as well.
Really? Dang. 1.5.
Oh,
I really raised it from what I had.
I'm sorry that I'm making you watch all these shitty
It's
movies.
okay. I didn't have to pay for this one, so
That's
it's fine.
true. All right. Well, hopefully you had fun with that one.
I
Yeah.
really like the shoes I got, though. I found a great deal on soccer cleats
Ooh.
during that movie.
What color?
Well, they're white. They're Adidas.
Nice.
No.
Adidas.
Yeah, my favorite.
Okay. Well, with that done,
Thanks for tuning in to Shoes with Chloe.
we'll have a new little segment right after we do the reviews. All right, well, let's get on to a little bit of news. So no trailers to talk about really this week. The big news, I guess, there's going to be a new Joker origin.
Oh, yeah. Scorsese.
You just blew the big reveal, Chloe. I was setting up. I was building
so
a narrative.
excited.
You stole his thunder.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
stole his thunder.
Okay.
He feels he's deflated now.
I'm so excited.
So
Well, Henry's not anymore.
yeah, I'm in the dumps.
He's gonna go cry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So there's going to be a DC Joker origin story film that is going to be separate from the other DC movies like Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman. And it's actually, they just announced just about an hour or two ago that there is going to be a whole new line of DC movies that aren't going to be connected to those. And the Joker movie is going to be the first one. But it's being produced by Martin Scorsese, who obviously did like Goodfellas and...
Love Jack Nicholson.
Who's Martin Scorsese?
Yeah. He's a nobody, a jobber.
Is he
Ooh, I
sort of
hope
new
it's-
on the scene? I've never heard of this guy before.
And I think I've already talked about that. It's like my favorite story of all time. Why Martin Scorsese got into directing.
I think we have.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I have asthma. It's about asthma.
Oh, yeah.
If you have asthma, you're destined for greatness. There you go.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. So, anyways.
I'll go get me some of that asthma.
Yeah. So, this Joker movie, this is the issue I have. It's being directed by Todd Phillips, who did the Hangover trilogy, Old School, and War Dogs. So it's a really impressive list of films this guy has under his belt.
Wait, was War Dogs good? That's a Jonah Hill one, right?
It feels okay. I mean, it's all right, but
I hate what's his name,
Old
so I can
School
never watch it.
was that was Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson,
and the other Wilson,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
Owen.
that one. So a very odd choice, I think, and not maybe the best either for a Joker movie, but Scorsese being a part of it is good enough. I think that's going to make it great.
This is the first I've heard of it. I've been trying to pay attention to this, but
I mean, it's just been in like the past 12 hours, so it's quite new.
It's really, really new.
Yeah.
Maybe it's somebody else named Martin Scorsese.
Maybe.
SCORSC.
Let's spell it out.
Scorsese. It looks like it's spelled Scorsese.
Scorsese.
But it's Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese. I don't know. Okay, they're just ripping off Disney again.
I suppose.
Because DC decided to do the large universe thing, right? Oh, Marvel did that. And now they're doing the standalone origin stories. Wait, are they doing that with Star Wars?
Oh, everyone's copying everybody. But this is another thing. So it's going to be recast. The Joker role is going to be recast.
I mean, that's the other thing. How many friggin' Jokers do you need?
It should be Leo, and I can circle back to Jack Nicholson because they look alike. Nothing?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Thank you so much.
Let's think about it. I mean, not even going back to Adam West and Cesar Romero.
R.I.P.
Who I still like Cesar Romero. I still like him. He was awesome. I liked him as a Joker. Mm-hmm. But not just talking about film. Well, no, Cesar Romero. There was a horrible Adam West Batman film. Seriously, you should go watch it. I saw it at summer camp. He's got the. I am dead serious. Probably before either of you guys were born, I saw it at summer camp, and.
Oh, but I do want to mention. Think on that while I'm talking. All right, think on what you.
Think on that thing you know exactly.
Think on your sins. But Jared Leto, who was the Joker in Suicide Squad, he's expected to be in the sequel for that and Gotham City Sirens, and so they're still having more than likely.
Gosh.
I love Jared Leto as the Joker, so they're having him more than likely in those movies, but they're going to have a younger actor for the standalone.
Yeah,
and so it's going to be two guys at once.
But didn't he
and
do
two
it
different.
when he was married? Didn't he become the Joker when his wife left him? Did I make that up? Did he cut a smile on his face?
No, you're just thinking of one of the fake backstories that Heath Ledger's Joker gave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows.
That's all I know. I'm so sorry.
Well, nobody really knows.
Sorry, DC listeners. No.
Except my dad's best friend's dad wrote Batman.
What?
Yeah.
And
no joke. He created Batman.
You have such a cool life and ancestors.
What's his Bob Kane?
I don't know.
He's not. He can't be your good granddad. Can't be Bob Kane.
I didn't say my granddad. My dad's best friend's dad.
Oh.
My dad's best friend's name is Jesse. I don't know what his dad's deal is. Except they wrote Batman.
Shout out to Jesse.
My dad actually was in high school with Frank Miller for a short time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Said Frank Miller was an oddball and would sit in the back corner of the room and light his farts.
What?
Yep.
He would smell his farts?
No, light his farts.
Wait, can you actually do that?
Yeah.
I mean, they make
I had a friend from France when I was living in New York who would light his farts.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Well, it's
things you know.
Yeah. But it's going to be. I mean, and Martin Scorsese said it's going to be like an '80s, gritty, grounded telling of the Joker, and so I think it has potential to be pretty awesome, especially with the right actor involved, and especially a movie just about the Joker.
But why? Why can't they just do something new?
This is new.
No, it's not new.
Ish.
It's not.
No. New-ish.
It's the same thing for the thousandth time.
It's the friggin' Joker again.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm not saying it's revolutionary. I'm saying in terms of having a story about him rather than incorporating him with other people. It's just going to be him, pretty much, as the main character.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying it.
You know,
I don't know.
We had Jack Nicholson, then we had Heath Ledger. Then we had
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Who's y'all's favorite?
Then we have somebody else in there at some point.
Mine's Heath.
Heath.
Yeah, I know.
I want to say there. Well, and then there's also, if you watch the Gotham TV show, Gotham. It's just Gotham.
Is there a Joker in that?
Yes and no. It's actually how they handled it. I think is quite fascinating. And I mean, honestly, if DC wants to do the films, they really should take a page from Gotham. I think Gotham has hit the nail on the head. It's grim and gritty, but it's sort of noir movie, hard boiled grim and gritty, rather than being like oppressive, anger, you know. So it's more sort of comic book noir gritty, as opposed to like uber reality gritty, which again, it's a comic book. You're dealing with superheroes. You can't just simply place them straight into absolute reality gritty.
It worked with Batman. Sorry, they're all Batman. It worked with that shows my interest. It worked with the Christian Bale stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of why that worked was Christopher Nolan, though.
Yeah.
There's just something about him and how he made those films.
Nolan is the man.
You know, I hate to admit it because he always sort of strikes me as a somewhat smug in his interviews.
No, he's just probably got something going on in there.
But he makes
going on. Well,
I don't know how to say it.
Chris, what do you have going on in that whole head of yours? You know.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, he made very good Batman films, and for some reason they worked. But then all the other stuff that DC has tried to do since,
and that movie Dunkirk wasn't bad too.
That's not the DC universe, so.
No, he's talking about
Nolan.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the DC universe.
Oh, okay.
But how they deal with Joker in Gotham, it's really fascinating. It's a kid, because this is when Bruce Wayne is a child, right? That's when he's early teenager. The Joker is this sort of demented, psychotic little kid who's brought up in a very difficult family situation. It's basically just a mother who is part of a carnival, a traveling carnival thing, and she sleeps around with people, and so he doesn't have. No, it's not that. It's that.
That must have made him a mass murderer.
It's that they're
classic.
Well, it's all these guys are terrible. They sort of are in his life and out of his life. They mistreat his mother. Right. She doesn't care about him. He's treated horribly by this parade of men. And I mean, it's just a bad situation for him all around. And so he turns into this Joker character. He assumes this sort of Joker persona, and he actually is then killed. But then his persona sort of turns into this counterculture movement.
Like Santa.
Yeah, Santa and mass murders.
Be a cool movie.
Yeah.
God.
You obviously haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night.
No.
Oh, good title.
Intrigue.
But
looks like we're gonna get a rainstorm.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
No. I'm sorry.
Why?
I like rain.
Because I missed the one thing that I need in my life is soccer. Like, I require it, and I couldn't play yesterday. Excuse me, I couldn't play yesterday. If I can't play today, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown.
But playing soccer in the rain is like the best.
You can't. They close the field.
Oh, that's stupid.
That's.
I'm gonna literally, if it rains, I'm gonna flip out.
That's bullshit.
Sorry, you can continue now.
Bull.
I'm gonna be in a really bad mood the rest of the day. If it starts raining, my eyes will
It might be
also
short.
start. Okay, keep going.
But it's, I mean, the main interest, kind of getting back, it's my main excitement for it is that it's Martin Scorsese. Because that's someone who you would not think would be a part of something like this, and so that's what I'm interested in more than anything. Rather, no matter what story they take or how they do it.
Also, he's so good with the mob stuff.
Yeah, and so I think it's gonna be an interesting molding of artists and ideas.
Maybe I like the fact that they're going with the Joker rather than doing, let's look at another superhero. But then again,
How about let's just make a new character?
That's one.
Because we have brains.
yeah. I mean, why the Joker? Why the Joker over and over and over and over? I mean, they've got the huge
Because everyone is like
array of characters that they can choose from.
that's the
Why
one
do
that
they
everyone goes back to is the Joker.
They don't need to.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they need to, but
Then give me someone. There's tons of villains out there. Give me another one.
Let's have a Genghis Khan movie.
ooh,
Well, you know,
spin-off.
Ra's al Ghul is interesting, and he sort of shows up in the first one. You see him a little bit.
Who?
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Who?
The Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay, I'm back in. Sorry.
Leave me. Oh,
Back in.
that's an interesting character. Why not see more of him?
Because he's busy.
Yeah.
Not Liam Neeson.
And they're doing is Ewan McGregor going to be in the new Obi-Wan Kenobi movie?
That's what we're just gonna get into.
Because if not, don't care.
So
If so, obviously care.
the next spin-off idea, which there's all these fucking spin-offs. There's Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars spin-off, and so there's going to be the Han Solo one next year, and then there's this apparently looks like it's going to be the next one
They're doing
after
a
that.
Yoda one as well. I thought.
Oh. And I heard
aren't
they're-
they doing the Boba
they're considering
Fett
it-
one too.
I heard Jabba the Hutt they're considering, just recently.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care. Jabba the Hutt.
Exactly.
I don't care. Han Solo, Lando Calrissian one would be awesome. I know he's going to be, you know, Donald Glover's portraying him in the Han Solo one, but I think a Lando Calrissian standalone would be really cool to see. Admiral Akbar, why not?
Yeah.
There's a trap.
Oh, apparently it was Bob Kinn's great nephew who was my dad's best friend.
Oh,
So,
cool.
who cares?
Yeah.
Nephews are nothing.
Pointless.
Nephews. Feh.
God.
So, I mean, I
And
don't
my dad
have.
got mad at me for messing up the Robert Redford story last time because he actually listens to this. He was like, "No, we were in the airport, and I had my cowboy hat on, and he thought, and then." So I didn't see him, but he knocked into me, so I went to punch him in the face, and then he saw it, so he went to punch me in the face, but we know sometimes when neither of us punch either one. And that's what happened. He was really nice. I said, okay. So there you go, everyone.
Yeah, anyone who is wanting clarification on that Robert Redford story, we got it. We got you now.
We
love our
fact
listeners.
checker on that. We apologize.
We love our listeners. We do anything for you, so
Yeah.
there you go. All right, I feel better.
Now that that's cleared up.
I mean, getting back to this, so I don't really care about all these spin-offs, but it could be interesting if Ewan McGregor
I
comes
want
back.
a Danny DeVito penguin bring back.
See, that's another one. Why couldn't they do Penguin?
That'd be cool. I'd be down.
Why couldn't they do the Riddler?
Because it's all... Just do something new. Just do something new.
Well, those would be new. I mean, all we see is the Joker. We've seen two iterations of the Joker in Batman movies. We've seen the Joker as in Suicide Squad.
This is not my point, Brayden. I mean someone who we can't already name.
Oh.
It's a new person.
Well,
There's loads of people around. You can think.
yeah,
Oh.
but I mean, if they've got the canon, they don't want to just fabricate a new character. I mean, yes, they
It
could.
upsets me.
And yes, it could be a good idea, but I mean, if they've got such a rich mythology already, why not pick? But I guess that's my point. Why not pick a character, a lesser known character?
Yeah.
If it's a standalone film, why do you have to do? I know what you're saying. No, they don't need to do that. Why not do something wholly original, which also I think would be better at least than doing yet another Joker. Hey, look, the Joker. Hey, look, the Joker. Hey, look, the Joker. It's like every 5 years we get more Joker shit.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong. So, but I love the Joker stuff, so I'm in.
I mean, Heath Ledger, and it wasn't just his portrayal, but it was the context in which the Joker was portrayed, and the fact that it wasn't just like, oh, he's like some mass murdering loony. No, he was actually clever. There was a psychological.
Yeah, those boats.
Aspect.
That was dope.
Mm-hmm. Gotta do it right.
Yeah, I mean,
That was good.
thank you.
but
Working on it.
That.
when I'm at work, you know.
Here's your latte.
Next, you're going to be behind the counter pulling shots with little prosthetic makeup scars.
And here we go. Just as the shots start pulling.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm not necessarily opposed to the idea of having standalone, but not the Joker. Just no Joker. Just anything but the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get it for heroes who integrate into bigger stories. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, I get way more than I get the Joker.
Right.
Because, like, what the heck is going to happen? Like, what's the point?
Well, I think it's an origin.
Yeah, but...
So that way people know.
I was satisfied with his wife left him, so he slit his face open. That was fine with me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of good ones out there already.
I don't need a whole movie.
Again, it's...
Well, I mean...
why do we need more?
I can understand that the Joker is psychologically a very flawed individual. His profile must be just alarming to look at. And so the question is, how did he get to that point? And that could be interesting, yeah, but why the Joker?
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, there are any number of villains who I'm sure have had interesting, intriguing backstories, and why not bring them to the forefront?
I don't know. We'll see. That's what the future ones could be, so you never know.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, there's not much other news, really, for the most part. Is anything y'all have heard about over the last week or so that are...
No.
Do you see the one thing I'll just bring up? Apple's investment in original movie and TV content?
No.
They're investing.
No, but that reminds me of another piece of news, which I'll get to. I'm sorry when you're done.
Oh, no, it's okay. So they're investing $1 billion in producing original movie and TV content over the next year.
Like for iTunes?
Or, I mean, just for them to release, as in, like, original Apple.
On what platform?
I'm not sure.
It's weird that they're... Because, I mean, Amazon, they don't actually make...
Right.
Well, no, they do make their own content for their streaming service, but in terms of films, they've gotten into the distribution game now. And so there are studios that will put out films, and Amazon studios will distribute them.
Yeah,
so Amazon doesn't produce or...
And I think they may have mentioned some type of streaming service, but... They invested or are investing $1 billion in doing this, so it's going to be different or big.
I mean, I guess everybody has seen that it's lucrative to actually produce shows.
I don't understand how it is because I don't understand sciencey, mathy things. Mm-hmm. But like, how does Netflix make money off of all that stuff?
Well, that's one piece of news. Is didn't Netflix release something saying they were something like $20 billion in the hole?
Yeah, and then they're still.
But they're like okay
stuff.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that puzzles me. Is how are you 20 billion with a B in debt?
Yeah.
And I remember a few weeks previously they had touted that they had reached some ludicrous number of subscribers.
Yeah, I think they hit a high point recently.
And they're still 20 billion in debt. So how do you? What is the are they putting out too much money and producing these things?
Right.
Which
I think
obviously
so.
Because how do you get it? I'm sure this falls on me not knowing stuff. Like I don't know how the crap a radio works or like a CD player. So why would I know how this works? But how do they make money off of it? How?
Subscription
but
fees.
People are going to subscribe anyway. You're not going to subscribe. I mean, I think there are about 5 people on the earth who would be like, Adam Sandler, I got to get Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
literally just his grandma.
If I were
apparently
if I were looking for places to save money, the first thing I do is just cut all that Adam Sandler shit.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Well, apparently it's some of his films are the most viewed on Netflix compared to everything else. Like The Ridiculous Six had more.
I might have to cancel my Netflix subscription just in protest.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll work.
But I mean, it's going to be interesting.
I enjoy a lot of the content, but the Adam Sandler stuff is just...
It's awful.
Awful.
Garbage.
Awful. Dumpster fire.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what Apple does because they obviously have a lot of money, and so who knows, it could be really good. And I'm curious to see how they plan on releasing it. So
well, it could be. I mean, it's interesting because it's not necessarily a streaming platform, but who was it? AT&T bought out the DirecTV, and the first thing that they've done is
That's
Mr.
right.
Mercedes. Mr. Mercedes so far has been spectacular.
Reagan has never liked anything more
Yeah.
than he likes Mr. Mercedes.
It's good.
I'm
It's
very
current
happy
right
for
now.
it.
I mean, there's a lot of it's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
No, not fun. But well, I mean, it's current. It's an ongoing series right now, so obviously it's in the forefront, and it's interesting because again, it's the first effort by this new AT&T entity. And so, I mean, obviously this sort of model works. It's just funny because it seems as though everybody's jumping on this train now. Netflix, I think, sort of started it. And then you've got Hulu, you've got Amazon. Both of them are putting out original content. I feel
There's some others out there.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube Red. So.
Yeah, that's right. YouTube Red. Yeah, that's the other big one. And now apparently you've got Apple jumping into the game. So I mean, that's fine. We'll see what they do.
That's fine. All right.
I mean, it's an inevitability at this point. There's no way to avoid
I
it.
suppose.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
But
whatever. If they do good content, they do good content. If they don't, then I won't watch it, and I don't give a shit anyway.
Yay.
Yay. That's the way to go. You said it. All right.
That was my other big piece of news, which I wanted to talk about, was Disney.
Just
Well,
Disney.
didn't you?
Let's just
No,
talk
didn't
about
you hear
Disney.
this? Disney's actually starting their own streaming.
Oh yeah.
service.
I did not.
And yeah, so Disney, they're going to be trying to remove.
I heard they got in trouble.
Yeah. Well, so they're trying to remove all of the Disney and which includes Marvel, Star Wars from Netflix.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
Really?
the Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm are both
Yeah,
Disney
I know
properties.
that.
By 2019 have their own service where it just streams only Disney things. And so that could be an issue and apparently Netflix is trying to fight that because obviously a lot of the stuff on Netflix that gets the biggest ratings is
Rogue One
and Marvel
the
stuff.
Marvel films, Doctor
How much
Strange.
does a DVD cost?
A DVD?
Yeah.
A new one is like $15, but DVDs are garbage.
Okay, or Blu-ray. I'm just saying. I feel like
It's
people could just get those if that's the only thing.
That's what
they
I wish
want.
people would start getting more physical media, but in terms of it's like the Captain America and then also there's a lot of Disney movies like the animated stuff.
Yeah,
that,
there's I saw Moana.
yeah,
a few
and
weeks
so
back,
if
and
all
got
of that
a few
goes
other
off
Did you
of
love
films.
it?
I thought it was okay.
I kind of like Moana. It
Oh,
was
I saw
fun.
this thing. It was the same as
I
another
like
movie.
the Jermaine Clement song.
I saw the thing where it was like the exact same as Lord of the Rings. Have you guys seen that?
Mm-mm.
That's it. They
Okay.
had like a play-by-play of how it was the exact same plot.
Oh,
as
really?
Lord of the Rings.
Huh.
Yeah.
Moana?
Yeah.
Really?
I'll look that up.
Interesting.
Sure. But I think if this ends up happening, Netflix could be in trouble because they could lose a lot of their biggest ratings and
Yeah.
so
They're already in trouble.
yeah. I mean
20
even
billion
in bigger
trouble.
trouble here. So
Well, that's what I was wondering is this 20 billion debt thing. I mean, how if they think they can make that back, okay, fine, but I mean, how do you get that massively into debt?
I don't know.
I mean, were they scrambling to put out content in an effort to increase viewership?
They do have so much stuff with so many big people, like that show with Ashton Kutcher and
The
Orange
Ranch,
is
yeah.
the New Black and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Well, they've done a lot of things, and well, that's the other thing that I'm wondering about is what's going to happen to all these smaller properties that are actual Netflix created, produced properties.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and now The Defenders.
Yeah, that could be.
Those are all made by Netflix.
But which one are they in? Which universe?
That's Marvel. Those are all Marvel
Scandalous.
properties.
What's gonna happen?
What?
Oh, thief! That's like when someone does a really good move in a board game. Gotcha. You worked for other stuff. I'm just gonna take it now.
Gotcha.
Well, that's the thing is, but they don't belong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, never mind.
There are references. They live in the New York which is in the Marvel Cinematic, but they're not actual characters. They never will show up.
Confused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever. Don't bother with me.
Yeah.
I watched 2 episodes of Jessica Jones.
There's like the tier 1 superheroes.
I really like Jessica Jones.
Hated it.
Not as much as the other stuff.
Hated it.
Why?
Boring.
Jessica Jones?
Yeah, she was basic. She was just depressed, first of all.
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
When the one nice person died, didn't like that. And then David Tennant was really... Oh, big deal. And then David Tennant was really good, but I can see him in about 2,000 other things, not worth it. I just thought it was really boring. Didn't get it. Gemma thought it was boring, too.
I thought it was kind of good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Christian Ritter, and I like the fact that they had...
I like Christian Ritter.
I like the fact that they had a superhero who was actually struggling with PTSD because of how she had been sort of abused.
Go watch that Will Smith movie.
Kilgrave. Will Smith movie?
Wild Wild West?
What was that when he was... Yeah.
I mean, I like that, but that's not... I kind of enjoyed Hancock, but it's not... You know, they sort of... Iron Man 3, they sort of did PTSD thing, but there was so much other crap going on. Mm-hmm. His whole struggle with PTSD sort of became, you know, like a tertiary, not even a secondary, but like a tertiary thing. And I think it was more front and center in Jessica Jones, and it was more an interesting sort of psychological understanding of her character.
It was just too slow for me. I feel you, but...
Well, a lot of the things, I mean, Iron Fist, if you go and look at the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, Iron Fist, it's just, all the critics hated it.
Is it good?
I liked it.
I'll try it.
All the critics hated it because they all said, oh, it's so slow, and it's just this, it's slow.
Chloe's gonna hate it.
Hey.
I like it. I like when they take their time to develop characters and develop plot rather than just non-stop action.
All the posters I saw when I was like traveling around Europe for like a month a while ago, Iron Fist everywhere and Boss Baby. Boss Baby and Iron Fist.
Big two.
Only posters and stuff I saw anywhere. Every country.
Really?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What countries?
Italy, Germany, England. Well, probably England had more. I don't remember. The other places I went, Spain. I can't really remember.
Those other European places.
I can't remember the rest right now.
There's something with a B, I think.
Right. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it'll just be curious to see what happens.
How that
Netflix.
Affects who takes it. Who takes? Yeah.
It's like watching a bad divorce and seeing who
That's
gets
what I was
kids.
thinking too.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well,
I actually thought of a recommendation. First time.
Ooh, teaser for the end of the show. All right. Well, with that done, let's move on to a little bit of mail. So the Filmbuds podcast at gmail.com is the address where you can reach us. We'd love to hear from you. It always makes my day when I see a listener question in my inbox. So please feel free. And we're also on Twitter and on Facebook, so you can send us messages there too if you want. But anyway, so we have one from Mason, and sorry, no location, Chloe. No location.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah, he knew John Byrne or
Brian.
Bryn. John Bryn from the last show or the show before didn't. So, Edge of Tomorrow was my favorite movie of 2014. And so you can probably predict my level of excitement when I heard they would be doing a sequel with the same director, which is Doug Liman. Doug Liman said the only reason a sequel was made because...
You want me to read it?
No.
I'm good at reading
Here. So...
I can read things.
I'll edit this out. And so Braden is going to talk because I can't speak. So...
Am I reading this?
Read the...
Oh, goody. I get to read.
Yeah.
Hi, Edge of Tomorrow was my favorite movie of 2014, and so you can probably predict my level of excitement when I heard they would be doing a sequel. Doug Liman said the only reason a sequel was made because of its poor financial success and strong... Shut up, now you're going to make me screw up. And strong critical success was of fan affection. What are some other films you wish would get sequels if that was enough to get them up and going? Thanks, waiting to hear the Soderbergh Show. Mason. And there's your... responses there.
Yeah.
My first thought is, I hope they make a sequel to that Avatar movie.
They are 4.
I know, I'm joking.
It was
I know.
joke.
I know.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
More Harry Potter.
Lord of the Rings. Make a sequel to that one.
Well, I really liked Edge of Tomorrow, and so I'm happy that they're doing a sequel, and especially with Doug Liman, and especially since they said they actually have a very good idea for it. So I'm curious about that.
Well, I mean, that's a difficult question for me because a lot of these films, I like it better when they don't make a sequel. Right. I'll just tell you that straight up. Sicario, they're making a sequel. Okay, I'll go see it. Does it need a sequel? No.
No.
Blade Runner, getting a sequel 30-something years down the road.
Director's cut.
Does it need a sequel? No. Am I going to go see the sequel? Yes. Does it need a sequel? No. Why? Let sleeping dogs lie. That's what I say. Edge of Tomorrow I thought was spectacular. And
Dang it!
Sorry, the thunder's coming, guys. Chloe is losing it.
She's losing it. But why make sequels to films that are so spectacular and can stand alone on their own merits?
Because Hollywood is dumb.
I understand it's a business model. They need to make money. They can churn out sequels, and there are people that will go see them. But just because you can make a sequel doesn't necessarily mean that it should be made. And a lot of times, the sequel falls flat. Like Kick-Ass, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of enjoyed the first one. And then they made the second one. And I went and saw it, and I went, oh.
My answer now is every Nicolas Cage movie. Make 12 more.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost Rider!
Yeah. That's
Season of the Witch!
Brayden is very excited.
So good!
I love this voice that you're putting on. That's his sequel voice talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my answer's Mason. So my top two favorite movies, which is Mad Max Fury Road, which that's probably going to happen at some point, and then also The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which they are doing a sequel, but it's not going to be with David Fincher or Rooney Mara or Daniel Craig.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the fudge?
Yeah. And so those are the big two, but I also said Sicario. Don't need a sequel, but I'm curious, especially since it's the same writer. And then I said Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
It's good. It's a
the
fun
one. Who was it? Armie Hammer.
Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. So apparently a sequel is. Oh, I think my dog just.
Creaking noises.
Yeah.
Bindy's peeking out from the storm.
Yeah, a sequel is being written apparently, but if it was only fans that could get a movie going, I would say that one, because I feel like people did really like that, even though my dog is clawing at the door.
Oh no!
Hang on.
Poor Bindy.
And then I also said King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Dear heavens.
Wow.
I'm a big fan. Now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I said Adventures of Tintin. That's another. I love that.
With Jamie Bell.
Yeah. And then Master and Commander.
Which one?
Master and Commander, the Russell Crowe film.
I
love movies about old sailing ships, so.
All right.
Yeah. But here, y'all go. I'm going to go talk to, or get my dog. All right.
I honestly, Chloe, what do you think? Because there's nothing that off the top of my head. This question sort of sprung on me, but
yeah.
I mean, even thinking about it.
I had real struggle with this too. It's an interesting question. A lot of the movies I like, I was like, oh gosh, I wish I could watch it again for the first time, but not like I'd like another one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with a good, like Logan Lucky. Like I wish I could watch it again for the first time. That doesn't mean I think they should do it again.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm not a big sequel person myself. Like I get the value sometimes.
Yeah.
It's I just in Harry Potter. There's like 8 of those, but that's kind of different because it was already thought through and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dark Tower. I'll go with Dark Tower. Let's make another.
Here, Chloe.
Oh, thank you. It's for the dog, right?
No.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
So, I mean, I again would prefer no sequels. And what do you think?
Siege.
My sister said Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh, Benny.
It's
Stop
okay.
it. No.
No chewing the cord.
There. I don't want to strangle you.
I mean, Hunt for the Wilder People was a really, really trying film. Does it need a sequel? I don't know. I don't think so.
Sorry. I don't know. I'm not a big sequel person.
Yeah, I'm not a big.
I like-
mean, if there are films that obviously deserve sequels, then, or if they're made specifically to have a sequel, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it should be thought through first. Like with that movie that I just forgot the name, Edge of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying before, like the aliens, they were here. They had some powers going on. They're gone.
Yeah.
So what next? You know?
I don't know.
get it.
I mean, I would prefer no sequels, but if I had to choose something to get a sequel, I would say something like Man from U.N.C.L.E., Fury Road.
Right. The
And-
more kind of action pop-ish, just like fun movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fury Road begs the question: where does that fit in? Because that is in and of itself.
Well, apparently they had two sequels
remake
written.
Sequel. Yeah, I heard that
Yeah,
too.
it's not necessarily a sequel itself, but it's a continuance or reboot of a property which already had multiple sequels.
Yeah, and so apparently one of them was going to focus on Furiosa, which is Charlize Theron's character.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And so I hope that happens. I don't know if it will, but I really hope it does.
I mean, that actually makes sense to me. I would like to see sequels like in that, because that that film in and of itself is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron,
Come on.
awesome. The two of them, awesome.
I liked Rosie
And
Huntington Whitley. I thought she was really good.
I really liked the World.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
Was awesome.
Yeah.
And so seeing those
There's a lot to
characters,
work with. That's true. That's my
Yeah.
other thing. When you've created your own world, then you can go do your thing. Stop making Joker movies.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're getting some thunder.
I'm pissed.
Chloe is so pissed.
Jeez.
If you could see
angry
her.
angry face.
She is
which
irate.
Still smiling.
Yeah.
But
She's just staring
it's
up
in the eyebrows.
up at the storm.
The Frankenstein. I could watch another one of those. James
Victor
McAvoy.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Victor Frankenstein. Give me another one of those.
Really?
Really?
Huh.
That's
I didn't see it, but I only heard bad things about it.
It was okay.
Then you don't listen to me, because I've said great things about it.
Don't know.
But that's what I mean. I only want sequels to like I said, fun kind of entertainment
Well, see,
pointed movies.
that's the thing is Ocean's 11. We mentioned Logan Lucky.
Okay,
earlier.
that's an interesting, yeah.
And Ocean's 11 I thought was good. Didn't necessarily need a sequel.
Or a trequel.
Or two sequels for that matter, yeah.
Triquel.
Triquel? Trequel? Trequel.
Let's figure it out.
But 12 was so-so, not the best. But
Yeah,
I
it's
actually
okay.
really enjoyed 13.
Me
Not
too.
as good as Ocean 7-Eleven.
Ocean, yeah. For me, Logan Lucky is still, I think, the best Soderbergh heist film out there. Just again because of the subtlety, the characters, the actors. Well, you heard all of us rave about it earlier, so go back and listen to that.
Yeah.
But does Logan Lucky need a sequel? No.
No.
If it gets one, would I go see it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because I love the characters so much.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's a difficult question because, again, most of the time, let's leave Dogs Lie. If we can come up with another property and put these same actors in there as an ensemble,
Right.
then that'd be awesome. You know, put all of them. Daniel Craig, Adam Driver, Channing Tatum,
Yeah, let's
Riley
get that
Keough.
Joe Bang spin-off. I'd watch
Oh,
a Joe Bang spin-off.
Joe Bang.
Yes.
Joe Bang. Incarcerated.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Put a little positive, a little negative.
Anyway, what else?
No peeking.
Yeah. I said no peeking.
I said no
Oh my
peeking.
God.
About to get naked.
Jeez, God, what? I'm trying to think of films that I honestly would say would be good to watch sequels to, but I really can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll have to if something comes to me, I'll spit it out.
He'll
but
track
nothing's-
you down, Mason.
Yeah, nothing's
He'll hit
popping
you
into
up.
mind at the moment.
Send us your Twitter page and we'll send you
He
a
doesn't know what a tweeter is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't do the social medias.
all the Twitters.
I know all the Twitters.
So sorry if you're getting a lot of rumbling on our headset, because it's actually a pretty big storm above us. So sorry about that. But
I'm gonna go home and drink coffee and read now. That's all I want to do in this rain.
I am angry.
yeah,
I still have 4 hours for it to clear up.
you'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, the second one.
There's another one?
There's one more.
Oh my gosh.
Just bringing all these questions on me.
Sorry.
It's like a pop quiz.
This one's a little less
I'm
challenging.
out of school. I don't
Okay,
want
what
no
is it?
more
What is
school.
it?
I'm done with my school.
You essentially just have to draw from memory. So
What is it?
I'm getting to it. Jeez. So, hello, buddies. Oh, that's nice.
Hello.
Hi, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Wanted to ask you more of a non-related movie question. What have you all done as jobs in the past? I know what most of you do right now, but God, that's creepy as shit.
This is why I'm not big on social media. I don't feel like airing out my life for everybody
It's
to.
thoughtful. It's a thoughtful
Says,
question.
but was just curious. Thanks for the fun show, Jeremy in Knoxville.
Thank you,
Tennessee.
Knoxville. Who's going first?
Well, I'll say, so I work as a barista right now, and I've also done some writing for some movie and television news sites, but that's not really ever been a full-time job. That's just been part-time whenever I've done it. And I've also was a customer service worker at Best Buy, which is one of the worst things ever created. It's just horrible job.
I couldn't
horrible.
take it 5 minutes in a Best Buy. Like, honestly,
No.
I just go there to pick up a cable.
Wait, is that the Geek Squad?
No, I was right next to the Geek Squad. This is just general customer service.
Not even the cool guy.
No, it's stupid.
Dang.
So I was there for 4 or 5 months, and then I got the job at Joe Van Gogh. So, and then I was a barista at the Barnes & Noble Cafe at South Point.
That's kind of weird. Do you get free books?
No, I got a discount, but...
All right.
So I was there, and then I was also a camp counselor when I was in high school. So, and that's about it.
Ominous thunder.
Yeah, I know. That's me too. Okay. Well,
Jeez,
camp
man.
counts like everybody else, except I still work there, and then do the pottery classes, and I'm a soccer coach, and I wait tables, and some other stuff. Oh, and I teach at a preschool. And I did jury duty once. I got paid for that. So
The sequestering. We all remember it well.
and obviously I get paid to house sit
Yeah.
and room with strangers. So
Cool. Braden, what about you?
Professional
You're the
student.
oldest of us.
Professional student.
You're a professional student.
Professional student.
Okay.
That's largely what I've done with my life.
And you work at the Chelsea Theater now.
I work at the Chelsea now. I took that job largely because of the flexibility it allowed me for my schedule in order to finish my dissertation.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, my dad, a family business. My dad needed somebody at the time to operate 35 millimeter because we were still 35 millimeter. He had a manager leaving. He needed somebody sort of pronto, and I needed a schedule with a little bit more flexibility. I mean, before that, I'd been down at UGA, and I had, teaching assistantship there. And I've worked as a paralegal. That was right after undergrad. And done various other things. So it's not, I haven't really done anything spectacular. I've done a bunch of interesting things, but I haven't really done anything like career. This is my career. That's what I'm looking for right now is a career path.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's Braden.
There you go.
Yeah. Chloe, you're in college right now. What are you hoping to do when you get out? If you get out.
Oh, I'll get out.
I
guess I'd like to be a professional visual artist in one way or another.
Cool.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well.
I just thought of something. Because I'm entering stuff in the Carbo Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
We should say we're press and then get in for free.
Ooh.
And then do a little show about it.
We
Mailing
could.
it.
We should do live from the Carborough Film Festival.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah. That'd be interesting.
We have some weird crap. It'd be great.
Yeah, we could talk about some cool, weird...
Can my dad guest? He'd be
Sure.
so good.
He's-
We always go together. It's the most bizarre experience.
Yeah.
Like, he's a bizarre man. It's far more bizarre an experience than he
Anybody
is.
we know is welcome to come on the show if you're listening. So let me know if you'd like to come on. You're totally welcome. Genuinely.
Except for that creepy Jacob.
Danny.
Except for, no,
no Danny.
The other Jacob that I know. Who
The
likes,
other Jacob,
who likes slasher movies. Who?
If you like
Oh,
slasher
not the
movies,
Jacob
you're
that
not
was-
welcome.
No.
Not the Jacob that was on here.
No, the other one.
Yeah.
He didn't like me very
But
much. so either.
other Jacob is cool too, so he's not creepy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Except, although, Jacob, if you do come on the show, you might have to talk to Chloe. Battle it out. So.
Or don't.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was such enmity going on between
There's not. I'm just scared of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not.
Slasher movies?
It's not your fault, Jacob.
All right.
Yes. I'm scared of them. I think it's reasonable.
I don't blame you. I'm not a big fan of slasher movies myself.
Yeah.
I do like supernatural horror, even though I'm a total chicken shit when it comes to the scaredy cat jump scenes. But
Yeah.
but I actually think they're pretty good, and there's been a lot of really good ones lately. So I need to see Crimson Peak.
Oh, it's good.
It's so good. Oh, I love that
baby.
movie. I'm sorry.
The witch is supposed to be really good. I need to see that. And Cabin in the Woods.
I wasn't crazy about Cabin in the Woods.
You weren't?
No.
Oh. Or no, is that it? The one that just came out recently with Clyde Edgerton?
No, we do this every time. It's the other one.
It's another one we're going to add to that list of...
So we've hit Blade Runner.
Yep.
Have we gotten Transformers yet?
Yes.
Yep. Talk
Okay.
about Transformers.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? I forget. Anyhow,
It Comes at Night.
It Comes at Night. Thank you.
Oh, you good
I don't know why now the two are perfect. Are permanently like transposed
Voldemort and
in
Harry.
my.
You know?
Yeah. The one can't exist without the other.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, thanks for the emails. Again, feel free to send us stuff. We love hearing from you, so feel free to do that at any time.
I also just got commissioned to paint some cats. That counts as a job.
Oh, cool.
I can have cheeseburger.
No.
No?
Just some cats.
The lol cats.
Nope. Some regular old cats.
Well, let's move on to our picks of the week, which is our weekly recommendations for you listeners. So, who wants to go first? Me. Oh yeah, Chloe, you actually have one, so you go.
Landline.
Oh right, I remember
Great
Gemma
movie.
saying she was a big fan. So
It was so good. And I will say I'm a little biased probably because it was like literally, well, except for all the like druggy stuff. It was like our life story. We really related. It's about two sisters who are like our amount apart and everything. But it was good anyway. It was funny. It was touching. Not as good as Obvious Child to me, but still quite good.
yeah. So that's should be in theaters at least somewhere still. I mean, it's already been out for a little while,
Did
but
you see it, Braden?
No.
Bet Sam Higgins loved it.
Did he?
I don't know. I bet he
he
did.
probably did. Classic Sam.
Classic Sam.
And so it may be still in theaters around you, so maybe try and check that one out if you can. I started the 30-day free trial on Hulu yesterday, or the day before last.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of nice. They have 30 days rather than just a week like a lot of ones.
I just have Hulu. Sorry.
Well, aren't you special?
And I I watched On the Waterfront for the first time.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
You don't have to say we know.
Informing the listeners.
I could've
The
been a
listeners.
contender.
Yeah. And it was quite good. I really liked it. Marlon Brando
He's great.
He's amazing in it. He's kind of like Channing Tatum and Ryan Gosling in the fact that it just feels very natural and effortless acting, and it feels much more contemporary for the time in terms of his acting compared to everyone else.
Right.
It feels very much not of that era.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the relationship between Marlon Brando and the love interest. That's great. Great black and white cinematography. But the one thing that is brutal in this movie is the score. The score is one of the most overdone, overblown.
Really?
I just like that. It's just a sentimentality why I like that, though. That's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, and usually with older films, I can take that perfectly, no problem. But for some reason, this was so present in this movie that it just took
Maybe
me right.
because you thought it was more modern than usual, so the
It
music
could
was
have been.
more
It felt
out of
sort
place.
of like
Yeah.
disjointed between
So maybe
Marlon Brando's spectacular acting and then the.
Yeah, and so it was just so loud and overblown and overdone, and it would just take me right out of the moment, and it was constant, and it was awful. But
it's
otherwise, it's
That's how I feel about My Best Friend Connor when I'm watching a movie. He's like the bad music that keeps taking me out of it.
It's interesting you say that about Marlon because I remember when we were talking about High Noon, and I point out that I have a lot of difficulty with older films just because the acting tends to be so overwrought, and I'm not terribly familiar with the oeuvre of Marlon Brando. Well, Apocalypse Now, which I mean,
and
he's awesome.
my favorite is another example of his natural acting style is A Streetcar Named Desire. It's amazing. Yeah,
I should probably see that.
It's really good. It's so good.
And, Elizabeth Taylor.
My God.
Right?
No. She's
you
in.
have to see it.
Who's in Streetcar Named Desire?
Marlon Brando.
Well, Marlon
And his
Brando, I
white
thought it
shirt.
was Elizabeth Taylor in that with him.
I don't think so.
I swear it was.
No, she's in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn. Was it Audrey Hepburn?
No. You have to see. Oh, shoot. I know who it is, too. You can see her.
Computer's about to run out of battery, so keep talking.
But yeah, it's just I was thinking about High Noon and how a lot of times it's the overwrought acting, and so it'd be interesting because now I kind of want to see On the Waterfront just to see Marlon Brando's performance in that.
You should.
Yeah, I really should. It's
Kim Hunter.
considered a classic film. I really should see that. And if his acting's that good, then it definitely would be worthwhile. So,
It's the lady from Gone with the Wind.
the lady from Gone with the Wind. That still doesn't give me a name.
Vivian Lee.
Vivian
Lee. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, so that's on Hulu right now, and definitely it's considered to be major classic, and so I would, for the most part, I would agree aside from the score. But it also feels very relevant in terms of we've been talking about timeless movies. This is about the lower and middle class keeping checks on the big guys essentially, and so it feels just like with the protests and everything that's been happening recently, it feels very relevant. So that's another reason to watch it as well. You can really tell how it can transcend the era that it's in. So very interesting. But that's on Hulu, so give it a look if you got it. And get that 30-day free trial,
I ain't got the Hulu right now.
Oh, nice.
I should probably get it, but I'm already shelling out too much money for other crap.
Yeah.
So
also rewatch Top Gun, and it's just awesome.
Did you see it in theaters?
No, I was at Silver Spot seeing. Sorry, Braden. I was at Silver Spot watching Logan Lucky, and they had and I completely forgot that was playing earlier in the month, and I'm so sad because I would have loved to have seen it in the theater.
they've got Top Gun on Netflix actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could have seen it in the theater. That's neato.
Oh, but one thing is, in a couple weeks, they're showing Close Encounters on the big screen.
Oh, really?
We should totally go.
Yeah, that might be worth
Totally
it.
go. Be badass.
That might be worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brain, what about you?
I'm still on a political kick lately. I did see The Defenders when that came out. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Call me a sucker, but I do like the big cinematic universes, specifically because it does allow them to flesh out characters more, develop plots more, develop stories more, which is generally a good thing. Choo-choo trains.
So much is happening today.
Trains and storms and... Oh, my Lord.
It just adds to the
Ambient noise.
the atmosphere here. So
We sound like a pack of hobos on a train. We're like all...
I made a movie about some homeless people in high school. They weren't real homeless people. It was my...
Well, American Honey.
Yeah.
I need
I
that.
didn't make American Honey, unfortunately.
wait, weren't you see some homeless people?
Huh?
Where'd you see homeless people?
No, I mean, it just sounds like we're hobos because it's like it's like we're all outdoors and on a train and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyhow.
Gotcha.
Hobos.
Exactly.
But, so I saw The Defenders. Obviously, Defenders not political, but I really enjoyed it. Sigourney Weaver was awesome, and I thought they did a very good job with the story. My only problem is I wanted to see more of Jessica Jones. She seems to sort of fall in the background at times.
Of course.
And I just...
Typical.
Well, she is the character, in the defense of the writers, the character itself, she's supposed to be sort of sullen and withdrawn and skeptical and doesn't want to be associated with all this stuff and is more sort of a victim of circumstance. That being said, I just like Kristen Ritter and her portrayal of Jessica Jones so much. I would have liked to have seen her as more present. Because Luke Cage was awesome, and I really liked his role in this. And Charlie Cox is always good, and even Finn Jones. I'm not a big fan of the Iron Fist character still, mostly because I feel he's sort of a overexcited, whiny white boy kind of thing.
He was in Game of Thrones.
But Finn Jones?
Yeah, he was a Lannister. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Sorry. He might have been a Lannister.
He might have been.
He was definitely in Game of Thrones, though.
Lancel? The cousin, Cersei's
That's
cousin?
what I was. He'd either. No, he might have. It doesn't matter. He's in Game of Thrones. It's fine.
Anyhow.
Oh, no. Was he Natalie Dormer's brother?
No.
You sure? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Continue.
Well, I think he does a good job of portraying him. I just don't like how the character's written.
Okay.
But the Jessica Jones character I do like a lot. I wish she had been more present. But overall, I think the story is interesting.
He was the brother.
Oh, really?
Yes. Of Natalie Dormer.
She's great.
Oh,
He's the gay one.
He played the Knight of Flowers.
Lover. Yeah.
He played not Mace Tyrell. Tyrell.
Sorry.
It's Tyrell. It's not coming to me right now, but I'll remember it eventually. Loris. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God.
It was going to kill me. I should remember this. But anyhow.
The Defender's good.
Defender's good. In terms of the political stuff I was watching, after having watched Detroit, and then just a little while ago, Selma, I decided to watch the 13th.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
What is that about?
It's the prison documentary by
rough.
The actress, by the lady who did Selma.
Yeah,
there's no way I could watch
Selma. It's rough. Everybody should watch it. It's tough to watch. It's interesting. I mean, I'm gonna try to synopsize it, but it's very difficult to synopsize. But the reason it's called the 13th is because of the 13th Amendment, which obviously emancipated slaves, outlawed slavery. But there is a little sort of loophole, if you look at it, that says all these rights can be denied anybody who's convicted of criminal offense, right? So if you're convicted, incarcerated, and then released, you are denied the right to vote and so forth, right? Unless you're given a full pardon or something. I forget exactly how it works. But the point is, if you are convicted of a crime, you lose that right to vote, and you lose various other rights as a citizen. And so the documentary traces how, following the implementation of the 13th Amendment, you have the Jim Crow South, and how during this period there's sort of a concerted effort to criminalize African Americans. And this has continued in an effort to sort of maintain African Americans in a sort of second-class citizen tier role, and just how over time, over the various decades, the approach to the criminalization of blacks has occurred, and most presently with the privatization of correctional facilities, and even more recently, now with now both parties, Republicans and Democrats, are taking a more sort of soft on crime rehabilitation approach to this. Now all of a sudden, bond companies are becoming, bail companies are becoming more important, and it's this whole thing about. It's really fascinating. It's hard to get into without, because it's very detailed and it's hard to get into without covering the whole thing. But I mean, it talks about ALEC, which is this rather sinister. It's the American Legislative Exchange Committee, which is this committee which involves a lot of corporations, and all they do essentially is draft legislation. And there are a lot of correctional facilities that privatized correctional facilities that are involved in this, and so obviously they're pushing for legislation which is favorable to them so that they can turn a profit. And that's why you get all these tough on crime stances like the 3 strikes rule, mandatory sentencing, and all this kind of stuff. And so it's very harrowing looking at watching this documentary and seeing the extent to which sort of racial disparity is institutionalized.
I'd really like to see it. So it sounds quite good.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, but everything that's been going on recently, it's sort of sparked my interest in the documentary again, and so I went and watched it. And it's a tough thing to watch. So, but good. Again, it's something that I feel everybody should go watch.
Yeah.
Much the same way Detroit, it's unsettling, but if you're an American, you should watch it. So.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so those are our picks of the week. Got some good ones, I think, this week, so that's cool.
Also, the Daniel Radcliffe Saturday Night Live's really good to cheer you up after that sad documentary.
Wait, was he just on Saturday Night Live?
No, it was a while ago. I just rewatched it, though, and it's very funny.
Huh. I don't know if I saw that one.
Do they do a Harry Potter skit?
Yeah, it's kind of lame, though.
Shocker.
No, but it's whatever, it's fine.
Anyways. All right. So that about brings us to the end of the show. Anything else y'all want to mention?
No.
Chloe?
Bye, Mason.
I'll think on that question and see if I can come up with a good answer, something to watch that would be good with the sequel. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now.
Yeah. Well, so the last few things. So hopefully going to do this Soderbergh show next week, if in a perfect world. And our if all works well, then Jacob will be on again because he likes Steven Soderbergh and he loved Logan Lucky. So
of course he did.
He would. I think he said he would like to come on. So whenever we do it, hopefully he'll be on. Chloe, you maybe not doing. You got school shit going on.
Boycott that show.
Yeah.
No Jacob.
No, that Jacob's
No,
okay.
it's a cool Jacob. Cool Jacob.
Well.
So the Jacob that we had on before was the good Jacob.
I don't know. He's just not the scary one.
Yeah.
Not the scary one.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, other Jacob, you're such a nice guy. Chloe, burden your name.
All I know about you, Jacob, is that you really like movies where people get killed in scary ways. So that's not great.
She loves it. But yeah, so hopefully we'll do that next week. And again, it'll be available on the website, which is thefilmbuds.com. And when it does go live, I'll put out a post, on Facebook and Twitter and all that. And so you'll know when it's up. But you just pay a minimum donation of $1 and you could just download it like an MP3 right to iTunes. And so it'd be very easy. But so we're going to be talking plenty of Soderbergh. And then next week on the regular show, again, there's not much out. And so maybe Wind River or Ingrid Goes West. Those are...
Sorry.
What?
Just the cover. Just the two movies. It's funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I really want to see Wind River, but if you decide to do that, it's going to be a hell of a time finding someplace to watch that.
It's at Silver Spot, buddy.
It's at South Point. South Point has Ingrid Goes West and Wind River.
Well, we have Wind River right now, but...
Not tomorrow.
Maybe not tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
We'll figure it out. Surprise show.
And so, stay updated for that. Again, you can reach us on Facebook and Twitter, filmbudspodcast@gmail.com. And, all right, well.
Bye.
Chloe marks the end of the show. What she says goes.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next week.